I mean, I know there's people excited about Trump and there's people excited about Kamala.
Right.
But I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because they don't want the other one.
Right.
You know, like, I felt like the last one I remember where people really got passionate was like Obama.
Yeah.
Like, where people were really like, this is our guy, and like, he's gonna do good things, and like, not because they hated the other guy.
Right.
They just really liked him.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfortunate that we don't have that as an option.
Yeah. Do guys do this?
Absolutely.
How many, percentage-wise, how many men are coming in your place?
Are you talking about Brazilians, or are you talking about just waxing?
Well, let's start with just anything.
Just waxing,
So
I would
most guys, I
say.
imagine, get their chest, their back done, like Italian guys gotta come in
Nose,
there.
eyebrows, ears.
Nose?
That's the fave, yeah.
Nose?
Yeah.
Inside your nose?
Yeah. Well, around the edge, yeah.
You wax it?
Yes.
Ow, does that hurt?
Okay, no.
Holy
God, why do
smokes.
people always think
Okay,
that?
so listen, I got one of those.
Yeah, I know, and then it's all
that,
pokey. And
yeah, but even that makes me go, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
and my eyes water and
that's
the whole
different.
deal. Right.
So, you know, maybe in my past life I was an alien on blah, blah, blah planet, and someone told me how cool being a human was, and they're like, it sucks though, but it's like really cool though too, and it's like really special because you feel like you only have so much time, you know?
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, I want to do that, kind of like being a mom, like I want to experience that.
Sure.
I want to know what that's like.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where my brain goes.
But in order to learn stuff from that, like, wouldn't you have to remember it?
I think you have to have bad to appreciate good.
Yeah.
And I think you have to have stress to appreciate peace. I think that, I mean, I had tons of childhood trauma, and I think it made me a stronger, smarter person.
Yeah.
My little one somehow. I'm like, how do I traumatize her, but then like not feel guilty? And then I think it'll just happen.
Yeah. That's a good point, because what you're saying is there might be a certain situation where, because of the love for your child, you think that she might need to go through something traumatic because on the other side of that, she's going to be a better person. Right? So there's a viewpoint that people would take with God in that way.
I'm like, I'm getting a picture with Too Short. I don't care. Right?
I'll hold him up before it falls over.
Like, my landlord is the one that put this on. I'm getting a picture. I'm special.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go back and I'm like, oh, I just want to like get like a selfie or a picture real quick, and I can't remember what he said, and I was like heartbroken.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know all the lyrics to your songs. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I want to smoke a blunt with you.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, so ever since then, I just like, I still like the music.
Right.
But I just like can't go to his shows because I'm like, you broke my heart, Too Short.
That's a bummer.
Too Short. You broke my heart.
Because I'm sure he's going to listen to this.
He's going to hear this.
He's a big fan of this podcast.
This is going to go viral, so just so you know.
Welcome, and also welcome to another episode of the greatest podcast in existence. Yes, that's right, you guessed it. It's the Why Can't We Talk About That podcast. For only the second time in the history of this podcast, I had someone come over to do an episode that I was literally meeting for the very first time. Extra points to anyone who can remember who the first one was. It can be a little nerve-wracking, but thankfully for me, this guest is very outgoing and communication was never a problem. My guest today is Sabrina Barney. She's married to a guy named Chris Barney, who I used to deliver pizzas with back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. As already mentioned, this was my first time meeting Sabrina, and this episode was a lot of fun, as she is definitely not lacking in the personality department. She is the owner of Smooth Criminal, which is a full-body waxing business, even though it doesn't say that anywhere on the sign or the building. She is also the first guest that has ever brought me a present. Hopefully this will start a trend. You hear all that, you future guests out there? You can pretty much hear me blushing through the microphone as I open the gift that she brought me, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And feedback, send it my way, please. Why can't we talk about that at proton.me is how to do so. This conversation was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it. That son is 22. Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Our oldest is 25. She's already married.
Our oldest is 16.
Okay. And that's
the one we adopted.
okay. Because I saw you were saying that.
And then the 15-year-old is his daughter from a previous marriage. Mm-hmm. So my stepdaughter. And then we have a 3-year-old.
Right. Okay, together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm like, what am I doing? I went from like no kids, lived by myself, to like 3 kids in 3 years.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
That's crazy. And what's the age gap between you guys? Is there any?
Chris and I?
Yeah.
He's 2 years older than me.
2 years older. Okay. So that puts
so I was 84. I just turned 40.
40. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in the club now, guys.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, I didn't know he was already that age.
He's 42.
I thought he was much younger than that.
It's because he looks like a tiny baby.
He does. He looks like a little kid. Yeah. Because I'm 46, so I thought
he still looks like a little kid.
Yeah. I haven't seen him since. In fact, the last time I saw him was he was still with his previous wife.
Oh.
And I bumped into him at a Chinese buffet restaurant, and I saw him, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" So
he's probably looking a little rough.
Yeah.
Back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of his.
Well, and he had like a spout with like opioids and like methadone.
Did he?
And
no way.
Oh God,
No, he went down that road.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Oh, what a bummer.
Luckily, he's not on that road.
Good. Yeah, he was never like that when I met him before.
No, it was like his 20s, 30s that it got rough for him.
Okay. It might
this
get
is so good. I'm gonna like.
Good. I'm glad you like
it.
It might get a little warm in here too, and I'm realizing, but to open windows makes noise, and it's like.
Well, and not only that, but it's hot outside,
right.
So it's actually worse to open your windows.
Oh, okay. So to let the heat in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good then. So
yeah, you just want shade and like a cave.
We'll just have to roast a little bit.
I don't care. I wore a tank top. I'm ready to party.
All right, perfect.
I've done one podcast before, and I felt like I was having to push him to like keep the conversation going.
Yeah, see that's.
And I was like,
yeah, that makes it hard.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it was a great podcast.
What was it? What podcast was it?
Central Coast Entrepreneurs.
Okay, and it was about your business that you have now.
My life, my business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of just went off on tangents.
And is he local? The guy that does.
Mm-hmm. His name's Arnold.
Arnold. I don't think I know.
Write it down.
I don't know any Arnolds.
Listen to my podcast.
I should.
It's pretty funny.
I should check it out. How long ago that one come out? Years.
Like a year ago, probably.
Oh, that's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So about as long as I've been doing this, I've been doing this about 2 years. So.
It may be 2 years. I don't know.
Okay.
Time kind of.
Yeah.
Is relevant.
Yeah.
I'm all, where was I yesterday?
Right? What do you get? The older you get, isn't that true? Like, it's nuts. You just don't even know. It's so crazy. Like, they used to tell me that when I was a kid all the time. Like, when you get older, time flies so bad. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And now I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, every year goes faster.
Right.
Now, instead of thinking in like days, I think in like years.
Okay.
Like, okay, in like this many years, where when I was younger, it was like, what am I doing tomorrow?
Right. Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So maybe I need to go back to that. Maybe that would help slow it down.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it's when I look at like my kids' ages and I realize, and I'll be saying something, oh, you remember when we did this like a couple years ago? And my wife will be like, babe, that was like 15 years ago. And I'm like, what? And
she's like, you were only 4.
Right. And that's how I can tell. Because like, we'll see the picture and it's like one of our kids is so young, It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So anyway, so kind of walk me through just, kind of your life right now. Just kind of, I know that's probably a big topic, but just kind of, so you gave me a little bit of info. Obviously you're married to a friend of mine that a friend of mine I haven't seen in a long time, but Chris is a cool guy.
Barney. Everybody knows Barney.
Everybody does know. I do.
There's very few people that have bad things to say about him. Right. And I'm one of those people. So.
Oh, okay, good. That's good. That's pretty funny.
And that's rare.
Yeah.
Like, normally people talk about people regardless, but normally everybody's like, oh, Barney, he's cool.
Yeah, he's one of those people that just seems really cool with everybody.
He's very mellow.
The last one I just did was somebody, he mentioned him. I didn't even mention him. He said something like
gosh.
Chris Barney. And I was like, oh, hey, I said his wife's going to be on next week.
Oh, that's
He goes, oh, no way.
So funny.
It was Dan Pankratz.
Oh, Dan. Dan did a reel for my shop. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love Dan.
Yeah, he's funny.
He cracks me up. Me and Dan get along really well.
Oh, good. Yeah. So just kind of, so you own it. You own your own business right now, which is the Brazilian waxing.
So it's Smooth Criminal.
Which is an awesome name, by the way.
I came up with this like big list of ideas of names.
Okay.
And I kind of just asked like friends and family and stuff like, hey, look at this list. What sticks out to you? Which one are you like, oh, I like that? Okay. And overwhelmingly,
it was that one.
It was Smooth Criminal.
What were some of the other ones? Except
for my mom. She was like, why does it have to say criminal? And I'm like, Mom, come on. And in retrospect, the other ones are pretty lame. Some off the top of the head, the Fuzzy Peach was one.
All right.
Peach Pit was like an old 90s reference of like 90210. Yeah, most people won't know that. And then that's where people are like, nobody's going to know that.
Okay.
But I felt like Smooth Criminal like really resonated with like older people for like the Michael Jackson reference, but also like it just sounds cool for like the younger people. Like they never really know what it is. They're like, what is it?
Yeah.
And I like that kind of like mystique about it.
Okay.
Being kind of like, it's not like called Smooth Criminal Waxing. It's not called, it's just Smooth Criminal.
Just Smooth Criminal. And people that don't know have no idea.
No, they have to come find out.
Right.
And so I have 3 waxers, and then we have 2 tattoo artists, a nail guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then I have a microblader getting ready to move in too.
I don't know what that means.
That's like eyebrows, like permanent, permanent eyebrows.
Okay. And how long have you owned the shop?
I've been in that location for a little over 3 years.
Okay. But you had a different location?
I was always by myself before that.
Oh, okay.
Like renting rooms in the back of salons or whatever. And then COVID happened. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
And the salon I was working in at the time was like, we're shutting down. And I was like, well, no. And so... which to each his own, respect.
Yeah.
So we left on good terms and everything, and I went out and just got a little room by myself and started getting so busy because no one was open.
Oh, nice.
That
so it worked in your favor.
It actually worked in my favor.
Okay.
So then I had to bring on other waxers to like take the overflow because I can only work so many
Do you have
hours.
that much? Is that such a busy business?
It is.
Okay.
And it's getting busier.
Okay.
It's getting more saturated as well, though. So there's more people doing it, but there's also more people getting it done.
Right.
I try really hard to like not be a hater because it is a small town, but it's not a small town. It's not
really anymore.
It is, and it's not. And
you're an Orchid. I mean, I guess if you just consider
Orchid. But even Santa Maria, like. And I'm not, like, from here. Like, I don't have family roots here. My husband does not have family roots here. So it's different than I feel like a lot of people from here where, like, they're related to everyone. And, like, they're cousins. And their cousins married this. And everybody's just, like, knows each other. Like, we don't really have that piece, which is kind of nice in a lot of ways. But also sucks not having family around. Yeah.
So your family is in, you're saying Michigan?
My family is all in Michigan. Okay. That's where I was born.
Okay.
But I moved here when I was 1.
Oh,
so I never say, like, I'm from Michigan.
And when you say here, do you mean Santa Maria or just California?
Santa Maria, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in Old Orchid. Okay. The double O all the way.
Represent.
For sure. I was one of those street rats down in Old Orchid, going to the tunnels and, doing all the things.
Nice.
And then Chris's parents are in Utah, so...
Oh, wow. Are they Mormons?
They have his dad's family has a history of Mormonism. Okay. But his parents are not Mormon.
Gotcha.
But they have family property out there. They retired.
Okay.
They retired out there.
Yeah. That's such a dumb thing to say. I know it's like, oh, you're from Utah. Are you a Mormon?
No, but it is a thing.
There's plenty of people that live that aren't.
No, there totally is. But it is a thing. And I've even had people ask, because we've thought about when we want to retire and stuff, like, we don't want to stay in California. We can't. No. The only reason we're still here is because of of my stepdaughter. Right. Really. And I'm like, well, is Lindy gonna like have a hard time in school? Like, are people gonna be mean to her because she's like not Mormon, you know? Right. And I guess it's not as bad as it used to be.
Lindy is your youngest. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she's how old? You said 3.
She's 3.
Dang, man, that's young.
She just turned 3 last month. I know. She's just a baby.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Are you guys done then?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, go get it all cut out. While I'm healing, you can be healing. It'll be like a bonding experience.
Oh, you guys both got
no, like I had a baby.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that healing.
Right.
And then, like, as soon as I had the baby, I'm like, make the appointment.
Nice.
Okay. I never wanted any kids.
Oh, interesting.
Like, adamantly. Like, I was married before.
Okay.
We had a vasectomy.
Okay.
He didn't have kids.
So when you went into the first marriage, you guys had made a decision. Look, neither one of us want kids.
Yeah, I've always made that decision. Okay. I've ended relationships over it. Many relationships.
Well, that's a big deal. I mean, if you're with somebody that wants kids and you don't, that's definitely a breaker.
But you know what? When you get older and like, I mean, people think like, I thought in my late 30s or my late 20s, like if I don't want kids now, I'm pretty sure I don't want kids.
Right.
But later it becomes for women. Instead of saying I don't want kids, it's going to be I can't have kids anymore.
Right.
And I thought, well, pooty. I'm trying really hard to use good words here. Well, poo-poo face.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
And what if I regret like not knowing what that experience is like?
Like it sounded too final for you to be like, I don't want to not have the option.
I don't like other things making my decisions for me.
Right.
Like it was always my decision that I didn't want kids,
sure.
Not that I couldn't have them. And I mean, technically, I didn't really know if I could, but
right.
There's always that too.
Right.
But once I was with Chris and I became a very active stepmother, I started having those like feelings of like,
okay,
I want to know what that's like to like have something in you that you made and like,
yeah.
Whoa.
So it was kind of the
unknown,
experience of being the stepmom is what made you think maybe I want to have one of my own.
And I dated a guy before that had 2 kids, but I wasn't like their stepmom. You know what I mean? So it was different. And I think I was just ready, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Because awesome. I didn't have her till I was 38.
Okay, yeah.
And until I was 36, I said I wasn't having kids.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, I'm a big proponent of if you don't want kids, don't have them. Because you see a lot of parents out there that have kids, and you're like, do you even like your kids? What is wrong with you?
And why do you keep having more?
Right.
Bro.
Exactly.
It's weird.
It's sad for the kid.
And that's why I said I would adopt, so.
Oh, yeah. So tell me about that.
I always said, if I decide I want kids, I'll adopt.
Okay.
So I got pregnant, had a miscarriage, which happens a lot, which is sad that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
It's super common.
Yeah, my wife had one too.
See?
Of our 4 kids,
dude,
we had one, yeah.
It's crazy how no one talks about it. Yeah. But anyway, so I thought like, oh, this is my sign. Like, I'm not supposed to have kids. And at the time I was a CASA volunteer. And my CASA kid, her siblings were aging out.
Okay.
She was kind of on her own at that point, and I knew that was going to be a crossroads of like she's either going to like do well or she's going to like fall off.
Right. Right.
And she actually asked me if we would adopt her.
Oh wow! And she's how old at this point?
13.
Okay.
Like such a tender girl age, and boys probably too.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh! Like I just had this miscarriage. Like, here's your sign. You know, like. The universe is telling you something. So I decided to go forward with that, and I actually was going to get back on birth control and like not try to get pregnant again.
Right.
Like that was going to be it. Well, I was already pregnant again.
Oh no way! Nice.
So then it was super sad because then my adopted daughter's like, oh well, do I have to leave? And I'm like, dude.
That's a valid question, I guess.
I mean, but how
crazy.
sad that that's her first thought, And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's too late. You're here.
You're
so
like,
now we have 3.
You're like, hey, we got another one. Yeah, you take a hike. We don't need you anymore. You know?
It's really. So now we have 3. Okay. So there you go.
All girls.
All girls.
Nice.
I was sure that one in me was going to be a boy. And it's so funny because we did like. For the baby reveal, we did like where you hit the baseball and it pops open.
Oh, yeah.
And, I pitched the baseball to Chris and he hits it so good and it pops open and you see the pink powder come out. And because it's on video.
Yeah.
And you just see him like slump over. Like, no.
Oh, man.
Like just heartbroken.
Right.
And I'm like, no. And like, he's like, you can never show Lindy that video.
Yeah, I know.
She's going to think I didn't want her. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll tell her I wanted a boy too.
That's funny.
So yeah, you get what you get. And now that I have all girls, I'm like, I don't even know what I would do with a boy now.
Right.
Like boys seem psycho. Like when I'm around little boys, I'm like, you're all crazy.
Yeah.
Like, whew.
Well, we have 2 of each, so it's
Boys are harder when they're little. Girls are harder when they're older.
Well, it
right?
depends, right? Like our oldest, who's 25 now, is a girl, and she was terrible as a kid. Like she was like exorcist style tantrums and she was crazy. But then somewhere around 3 or 4, she became the easiest kid in the world.
Huh.
Like she was, and to this day she's that way. She's self-motivated. You never have to tell her. We never had to really tell her to do her schoolwork. She just get it done. She went to school. She got a good grade. She got a job. She's working in her field now. She's loving it. She's married. Just like she's got it all together. And then our 22-year-old son was a piece of cake when he was little. Huh. I mean, even food, he wasn't picky.
So maybe it's
anything.
just the kid.
I guess.
Yeah, my mom's like, when you were 3, you loved salad.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I can't even get Lindy to eat like a pea.
Yeah, right. And all kids are different in that way, right? Yeah. But it's like with our next 2, it was kind of the opposite. Because now we have, my younger daughter's now 16. So that's, since about 13 on, that's been dealing with that, and all
fun.
that stuff. And then my son is 14. But he's a
Oh, so you still have kids in the house?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, my 22-year-old still lives here, too.
You just have older ones.
Yes.
But you have younger ones, too.
We have younger ones, yeah. 4 more years, we'd say, until they're all adults.
15 more years.
Yeah, you got some time.
It's okay, I'll be 75.
Yeah.
By the time, if they'll ever even be able to move out with the cost of living here.
Not here, yeah.
I'm like,
it's crazy.
They're never going to leave.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I can't even be mad at them about it.
Yeah. I know. It's terrible.
I love that little dog. I just want to cradle it in my arms.
Cute. Yeah, she's a cutie. So I'm glad she's being quiet because usually she's noisy and
she loves me. That's why we love each other already. We have an understanding.
There you go. Very cool. I do have 3 cats around too, so I hope you don't have an allergy or anything.
I have 3 cats also.
Okay, cool.
Mine are all
the newest
disabled.
one. This guy's a terror, but he's good when he's sleeping.
He's very beautiful.
He is very pretty.
Yeah, I have a one-eyed cat.
Okay.
Her name's Morticia.
Nice.
That was her name at the shelter. I didn't name her that. People assume I picked the name.
Did she have the one-eyed?
Yeah. So she was like dumpster baby litter, and all the kittens had their eyes saved except for her. Only one of her eyes was good.
Okay.
They were all infected or something. And she was the last one. And I was actually taking donations down there because I did a drive at the shop for the Humane Society.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'll just go look around and find for a minute.
Right.
Come home with the one-eyed cat. Okay. And then another time I went and I came home, I have another cat that has 3 legs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Her name's Trinity.
Okay. And she also had 3 legs when you got her?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
just have a bleeding heart for the...
I didn't mean
for the defects.
I guess. I know, I love animals. And then we have 2 dogs also that are both completely mentally disabled.
Nice. Okay. Good. Good stuff.
Is that the right PR word? Mentally.
I don't know. I don't do PC.
They're special.
Because then they're going to change it on you.
Let's just say the dogs are special.
Yeah. Special needs dogs.
Not just special,
just
all
special.
around.
Okay.
All around
right.
special guys.
That works.
Yeah. We're the only other guys in the house that Chris has
to... So we'll get into music first. But before we do, since it's an audio podcast, I do want to let all the listeners know that your hat says nothing finer than a waxed vagina.
I had to wear this hat for you today. Because I just wanted you to know where we were going, you know?
That fits the
I wanted you to understand. Yeah, and
Yeah.
So my best friend is an amazing artist in Texas.
Okay.
Well, she moved away to Texas. But,
Yeah.
she draws these girls for me.
Okay.
And then I put like words with them. And
Okay.
there's some stickers in your little gift bag you'll see that are pretty fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So are this stuff that you sell in your shop?
Yeah, and
Like
online.
the hats and
and
everything,
to other
sure.
waxers.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly other waxers buy the merch,
Yeah.
not clients.
Do other waxers have merch like that?
Yeah, some.
Okay. Probably not as cool.
Not other local waxers,
Okay.
but
Okay.
like bigger hitting waxers. Yeah, I'm actually going to a waxing summit at the end of this month in Oregon.
Oh, nice.
With a bunch of huge names in the industry.
What part of
Super
Oregon?
excited. Medford.
Okay.
Yeah. On a big piece of property. It's going to be amazing.
That's awesome.
So excited.
You going by yourself? I mean, like you're leaving Chris and the kids here. You're like vacation time.
Yeah, they aren't invited.
That's what I mean. It's like you're kind of like get away. It's a getaway.
It's called a creators retreat.
Oh,
okay?
there you go. Okay.
So it's like waxing business owners meets beautiful oasis wonderland. happy places.
So cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
How long are you going to be there?
4 days.
Okay. Is it driving or flying?
Flying.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty drive. I don't know if you've ever taken it. But...
Well, I went to school up in Humboldt, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it is a long drive.
Yeah.
And I have...
But it's pretty, though. I feel like when we drive south, it's like
had time,
gross.
I would love to take that drive.
Right.
But
if you're flying yourself, it's cheaper anyway.
Oh,
pay
yeah.
for gas. But if you're
no,
going
but I've always wanted to take Chris up to like where I went to college, and then I lived in Sac for a while, so there's like places I want to show him there, and then I lived in Santa Rosa, so there's like places I want to show him there.
Nice.
I used to be a tour guide at a brewery, so I like want to take him there.
Wow. Okay.
Actually, no, I did take him there.
Yeah.
One time. But anyway, yeah,
it's
a road trip that I want to do with like the whole family for sure.
Because then you get up and we like to stop at all those little like the Bigfoot shops.
Oh yeah, and the mystery spot.
Yeah, mystery spot.
Yeah.
And the trees of mystery. I don't know if you've ever been there.
There's a drive-through tree. I know.
There's that, and then there's a few of those actually we've been to. But there's the trees of mystery. Is like it takes you a couple hours. You pay and you get to walk through the whole thing. But they. There's a big. It's where that big Paul Bunyan and
yeah.
That's the trees of mystery.
I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's that little. They had a little museum thing.
Oh, I miss Northern California a lot.
I love Northern California.
I miss mostly. Well, it's funny because growing up in Orchid, people always called me a hippie.
Oh, really?
And I didn't ever really identify as anything. Like, I was friends with the popular kids, and I was also on the chess club.
Nice.
You know, I did cheerleading, but I also, like, hung out with the skateboarders.
Nice.
So, like,
that's cool.
I feel like I never really figured out, like, who am I?
Right.
You know, that, like, Zoolander moment.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's some similarities between us, too, because I think you already said you're an only child.
Yes, I am.
I am as well.
I am.
And
my mom also did not want children.
Okay, nice. I don't remember why my parents never had more, but I'm sure I was probably...
They're like, we're good.
Yeah, they're like, after him, I think he's going to take all our energy.
Right.
But when I was in high school, it was the same way. I mean, I had my core friends, like 4 or 5 close friends.
Right.
But I had friends in every, like the cowboy guys, the metalheads, all of them, you know, the preppies. I had friends in all those groups. I was just that guy, you know.
Yep.
To where you just walk around like, hey,
and the thing I hated the most was that those friends wouldn't intertwine.
Right.
Because I wanted everybody to like hang out together and like they're like, nah.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to like split my time between different groups because they didn't want to mix with each other, which
back
was
then
stupid.
That was probably more so. I feel like now there's a little bit more maybe of the mixing of cliques, you think, or no?
No,
you think it's worse
I think it's probably the same.
Okay.
I think it's just different words.
I know with music it's switched because like when I was in high school or maybe junior high, you had people, and this will kind of segue us into music, I guess, but you had the people that were all in one. Like for me, it was rap. I listened to nothing but rap. I wanted nothing to do with guitar music.
I've always listened to everything.
Okay, but you were unique then because back then that wasn't like that.
Yeah, I think people still think my playlist is weird.
Yeah.
Like they're all. This just went from like Garth Brooks to Too Short to like Bob Marley.
See, I'm
to
the same
like
way.
Steve Miller.
And my wife thinks I'm weird.
What are you doing?
Yes, same
I'm like,
way.
no, I like all of them.
Yes.
I always tell everybody I like a little bit of everything, but I don't like all of anything.
Right. I can go from some mellow, like you said, Bob Marley or some song, into like some screamy death metal or something.
Yeah,
and it doesn't.
And I'm down for
me.
anything live.
Oh, okay.
I don't care if it's even good.
Yeah.
I want to hang out.
Just
and
live
watch.
music.
Live music, live shows. I love like the melodrama, PCPA.
Oh, yeah.
I love live concerts, music, little guy on a guitar outside the whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like comedy shows, like. Anything sports, like I have zero interest in sports, but I will go to a live sports game anytime.
So what is it you like then? Is it just the crowd?
It's
just
like
being in the stands?
It's like real.
Okay. more so than TV. Right?
I don't sit well.
Okay.
So like I can sit and talk to you, but if I was just like had to just sit here, I would like go crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a lot going on. But then I also need like time by myself to like recharge.
Right.
I'm like very extroverted, but also like weirdly introverted.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't really, but thanks
I think
for
it makes
saying
sense.
it.
No, I think I think it does.
I'm an introverted extrovert.
No, again with the similarities because I can understand what you're saying because people that know me think I'm very extroverted.
Yep.
I'm the guy that has no problem going up, meeting somebody, talking to somebody. If we're at a party and we know 2 people there that invited us, but we don't know anybody else, I'm the guy that's going up and shaking hands. Hey, I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you. But all that said, I love being alone also.
Oh, I love being alone.
I can spend time by myself, and
the best gift that Chris can ever give me is time by myself.
Right.
Because I used to have too much of it. Because I lived by myself, I worked by myself, so like I kind of craved interaction.
Right.
Where now with kids, and especially a little kid, and running a business and employees, and all the things.
Right.
If I can have even like a few hours of no one talking. So every week we each get a day. Chris gets Thursdays, he plays hockey. I get Tuesdays, I go to the movies by myself.
Okay. Nice.
So he's like, you just go by yourself. Like, don't you want to go with Chris? I'm like, no. I want to go by myself. I want to eat like greasy food.
Yeah.
And I want no one to talk to me for 2 hours, and I don't want to think about anything for 2 hours.
There you go.
And I just want to zone out, man.
Okay.
And it's the best.
So real quick, what kind of movies do you like? What's your favorite?
Well, I'll go to whatever because I go every week. But
okay. So you've pretty much seen everything that's out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But I'm very excited to see Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Just came out. I'm not going to go this week because I don't like dealing with all the idiots.
Yeah. So let me tell you. So I assume you're a Tim Burton fan.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we just had our anniversary on August 28th, and Bethany, my wife, took me. So like every other year, like we take turns planning our anniversary trip, right?
I love it.
So this year was her turn, and she decided this year not to tell me anything. So she says, I'm kidnapping you on Sunday. All she told me was make sure you take Monday off from both jobs.
Oh, you have multiple jobs.
Yeah, I work at the library. It's my main job.
The Santa Maria Library?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been there for like 18 years.
I wax people that have worked there a long time.
Oh, really?
Talk about it.
Yeah. Probably can't drop their names now, but yeah, so I've been there like 18 years.
That's an amazing place.
And then I deliver pizzas at Ricky's for a couple nights a week.
Really?
Yeah.
You're still in the pizza game.
Yeah, it's just extra.
Look at you.
Money.
Love it. And you probably get free pizza.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
I like free pizza. I like free food's my most favorite kind.
Yeah. So anyway, so she plans it out. She tells me to take that day off from the job. So we leave on Sunday. We go down to Hollywood. And we stayed in like this old hotel that was like Marilyn Monroe used to stay there. And it was and you literally walk outside and you got the stars, like the Walk of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've never seen.
I got to see him for the first time this year, too.
Okay, I my whole life.
Me neither. And I was like I have to see it. I've lived in California my whole life.
There was one time we were even driving down there and we were like, oh, we're going to go find this. And we couldn't find it. Like, but that was before the days of like Google and all that stuff. Well,
there's also a lot of homeless stuff going on around there, too.
That too, yeah. But we had a blast. We're walking around. But so anyway,
really cool.
The main thing that she was taking me to was this thing called Beetlehouse. Have you heard of it? Have you been there?
No, but it's on my list.
I've never even heard of it.
I heard of it from one of my clients that is like goes to Disneyland all the time person.
Okay.
And I saw video and pictures of their experience, and I was like, where is this?
Right.
And she's like, it's right by Universal Studios and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh... It looked so cool. Was it cool?
Awesome.
Was it totally worth it?
Yeah, it was
oh my gosh, I have to go there.
And it was funny because I had no idea.
Chris, when you listen to this podcast, remember to take your wife to Beetlehouse in Universal City.
That's right. But yeah, we were just walking around the street, and I saw this thing. I said, Beetlehouse, what's that? Because there was like this thing on the what do you call it? The logo.
It's like in kind of a weird spot,
yeah, it's just
right?
like in the middle of downtown.
It's like in a weird like alley
it's just
or something.
right there.
Yeah.
And we turn the corner, and Bethany goes, oh, I don't know what it is. And I turn the corner, and there's a guy, like a hype man outside, and he's like, hey, guys. And this is the cool part, right? He goes, hey, because since today's Tim Burton's birthday, he said, we're having people... Bethany goes, what? She had no idea it was Tim Burton's birthday.
She didn't plan to go to this place.
No, she did.
Oh, she did?
She did.
Oh, okay.
But she didn't tell me that.
Got it.
So we turn the corner, and this guy's hyping up. He goes, if you guys want to come in and look around, we're offering you today, because it's Tim Burton's birthday, you can come in and look around for free. And she goes, do you want to check it out? I said, well, yeah, let's check it out. So I walk in, and there's this hostess chick there. And she says, oh, hi, do you guys have a reservation? And I start to say, and I say no.
Yeah.
And then my wife goes, yes, we do at 6:30 or whatever. And I look at her, I go, what? She goes, surprise! So she had totally planned to bring me there, right? So then we went in there. It was a blast. It was so much fun. We had to wait like an hour and a half to get seated. Well, we showed up early, so that's part of it. But it was good. The food was good, and the entertainment was good.
Yeah, that's definitely on my... I have a bucket list of things. That's one of them,
Yeah, it was a
Beetlehouse,
lot of
for
fun.
sure. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chris would appreciate it enough, but...
Is he not a Tim Burton guy?
My best friend Jackie would poo-poo in her panties.
Maybe you should take her.
Yeah, I have to fly her out from Texas, but,
there you go.
I'll do it.
Yeah. You gotta have the good company, right? Yeah. So, all right, so before we get to music, real quick, favorite Tim Burton movie? Since we're on that topic.
I like Jim Henson better, to be honest with you. But Tim Burton,
I'm a big Jim Henson guy too.
I gotta go with Edward Scissorhands.
Thank you. Me too.
That's
my favorite.
movie just like has like this really special place in my heart.
There's one scene that is one of my favorite scenes of all time, and it's when it's towards the end where she's standing next to him and she says, "Hold me," and he tries and he can't because
his hands,
and he
says,
scissor hands. I can't. And it's like, it just kills. It's just
I haven't seen it honestly in a long time, but it's out of Tim Burton movies. I mean, I like all the claymation stuff too a lot, but that movie just has like something about it that I just love. It's awesome. Love. Yeah. And his wife, I like her in his movies. She's an interesting lady.
Which one?
Tim Burton's wife.
Well, so he had a first wife that was in his early movies, and now it's the one that played like the Queen of Hearts and stuff. Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter. Helena, yeah. So that's the second. The first wife was in. She was in Mars Attacks. She was in Ed Wood.
Oh, which one was she in Mars Attacks?
She played one of the aliens.
Oh,
the female alien. Looking? Remember they sent the female alien in or whatever to try to seduce the guy. That's his wife. I think her name's Lisa. I think her name's Lisa Marie, but not Presley.
Right.
Lisa Marie. But then
I forgot about Mars Attacks. Holy crap!
Did you see Ed Wood?
No.
Okay.
What's that?
That's another movie that he did based on Edward Wood, who's known as the worst film director of all time. Huh. He did a bunch of cheesy B movies like back in the day, like in the black and white days.
And he just makes fun of him or something?
Well, no, I think it was kind of an homage in a sense.
Oh, he liked him.
But also just showing the way that he was. Like he would do one take. He's like, all right, that's a wrap. And it was like he would never redo a scene. He's just like, he's just moving on.
Sounds like me on social media.
Right. But if you watch...
I'm the one take wonder, baby.
Yeah. But if you watch that movie, there's like a Vampira, or what was her name? Vampira? Is that her name? The old like gothic kind of chick that used to do the movie reviews. No? Vampire? I think it was
Elvira?
Elvira. Dang it. I knew I was getting it wrong.
Dude, Elvira's one of my favorite movies, dude. Have you ever actually watched that movie?
Which one?
Elvira.
No.
Dude.
There's a movie about her life?
No, that's how she became famous.
I've seen
as Elvira.
Yeah, I've seen her show.
Queen of Darkness.
Yeah, I've seen her.
It's a movie.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Because she used to do like reviews of movies.
No, that was like
that was later?
Like an online thing or something.
Okay. That's what I remember her from when I was a kid.
No, the original movie, Elvira, Queen of the Darkness.
I'll have to check
Watch
it out.
it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to write it down.
Yeah, it's obviously cheesy, but it's actually...
I would hope so.
Good.
If it wasn't cheesy, I'd be disappointed.
I mean, I liked it. But I also, like, one of my favorites is Dark Crystal. So.
Oh, right. So back to Jim Henson. Yeah, Dark Crystal.
Labyrinth.
Yeah,
okay,
nice.
love it.
Yeah.
But the new age kids go, is that from Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I'm like...
Yeah.
I like Harry Potter, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's not an homage to Harry Potter.
No. And it's not Labyrinth. Labyrinth is, or Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal, though. I can't figure out what I would get for Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a Skeksis tattoo. You
know? My sister-in-law has a tattoo of Kira. Because her name is Kira. Her parents named her Kira because
from the movie?
From the movie.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah, so she's got that tattoo. I think it's on her arm right here. But
wow, that'd be a unique tattoo.
Yeah. Did you watch this series?
No, I wanted to, but I just couldn't.
Like you tried it and you didn't like it, or you
just couldn't get myself to click on play it.
Okay, I suggest you do.
You liked it?
I did.
Because it's his son now doing it, right?
Yeah, but the storyline's
good.
If you liked the old movie, it definitely was made for the fans of the old movie.
Well, that's good to know because I felt like they were going to try to do some weird stuff, and then I was going to be like, this is not what I want.
Right.
Because I want it to be dark and weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's weird because it takes place. It's a prequel. So
that's
you see
like
all
the new
these Gelflings.
Rings of Power.
Right. I still haven't seen that. I've heard it's good though. I heard it's good. Yeah.
The second season just came out.
Okay. Cool.
It's good.
Yeah, we're kind of behind on TV shows.
I like it. I tend to watch it like while I'm getting ready or whatever.
Okay.
Like
just kind of have it on. You don't have to focus too hard on it.
Yeah. I don't want to have it on when I'm not able to pay attention, but also, like, I don't watch TV and sit well, so it has to be able to move with me.
Okay.
Like, I'm folding laundry. We're going out here now.
So what, do you have it, like, on your phone or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I'm old school.
The days of technology, right? Yeah. Wow. So, all right, well, let's jump into some music discussion. That's usually where I go first. So,
I could rap Blowjob Betty for you if you like.
Oh, yeah? So you're a Too Short fan. Did you go see him play when he was here in San Maria?
So I am a Too Short fan.
Okay.
But when I lived in Humboldt, my landlord used to put on these shows because he had too much money from growing weed.
Yeah. Do they do that in Humboldt? I'm not sure. I never heard that.
Yeah.
It's like the
Probably
weed,
not anymore.
it's like
But
the weed capital of
not anymore. Now it's Walmart of weed. But Too Short was one of the guests one time, and I was so excited, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And I was working the door. So I was like, this is going to be amazing.
Nice.
Never seen him before.
Yeah.
This guy shows up like 5 hours late. He's wasted, drunk, so high, so drunk. Wow. And I mean, I like to get high, and I have drank
many times. But now you gotta perform.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Then, like,
people paid to see you, you know?
And 5 hours late. And I'm like, come on, man. And so everybody was pissed, and I'm at the door, so I'm the guy, like, taking all the brunt of it.
Right.
And so he maybe does, like, 1.5 songs, maybe.
And that was it?
And that was it.
Oh my gosh.
And so then everybody's mad, they want their money back, brr, 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 brr. And I'm like, it's not my... And so I'm like, I'm getting a picture with Too Short. I don't care. Right?
I'll hold him up before it falls over.
Like, my landlord is the one that put this on. I'm getting a picture. I'm special.
Yeah.
Okay? So I go back and I'm like, I just want to, like, get, like, a selfie or a picture real quick. And I can't remember what he said, but he was basically like...
Yeah.
And I was
Too Short?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was like... heartbroken.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know all the lyrics to your songs. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I want to smoke a blunt with you.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, so ever since then, I just, like, I still like the music.
Right.
But I just, like, can't go to his shows because I'm like, you broke my heart, Too Short.
That's a bummer.
Too Short. You broke my heart.
Because I'm sure he's going to listen to this.
He's going to hear this.
He's a big fan of this podcast.
This is going to go viral, so just so you know.
So for me, Too Short was...
All we have to do now to go viral is a little...
That's it.
And that's...
Have you seen that she's got her own podcast and like all this stuff?
Yeah, and it makes me really mad because I should have my own podcast first. Because I put in way more work doing than she ever even thought of doing. Okay,
it's terrible. It's like it's amazing what we make famous these days, but Too Short.
I know I keep getting away from the music, but let's get into it.
We'll go all over the place, but like Too Short for me is
nostalgic.
Is big too. Nostalgic, yes, but I mean, like I said, when I grew up, it was all rap. That's all I listened to. I mean, early, like I'm like 8 or 9, I'm listening to Too Short.
Oh wow,
which is really wholesome lyrics.
Very
for an 8 or 9-year-old.
Yeah.
But he was my idol, man. I even at one point
can't imagine why your parents only had the one.
Right.
They're like, we got a little Too Short in here.
I wanted to move to Oakland and be a pimp. This was my life goal. This was my ambitions. Sorry, I don't mean to make you shoot chai out of your nose.
I wanted to move to Oakland and be a pimp.
That was it. And you're talking like I'm 10 when I'm thinking
this
right?
is wonderful.
Yeah,
You've always been an entrepreneur, man.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I feel that.
he was big for me. I remember the first time I heard...
Did you ever rap?
No.
Oh,
no.
see, maybe you should...
I'll rap along.
I'd say maybe you should try your hand at rapping. You never know. You kind of could pull it off, I
don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
You got the bald head.
Yeah, well, I do. I might, but I don't have the vocals. But it was Life is Too Short was the first album I heard.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa.
That's my favorite.
And I don't know if you remember back then, he'd do one side of it, back in those tapes, right? Cassette tapes. Was it before CDs?
Oh, see, I had the CD of Too Short.
Okay. I did too
Get
later.
In Where You Fit In was...
Okay. I had that one too. Yeah, that was a good one.
But I remember tapes. My first tape was Presidents of the United States of America.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first tape I ever got. Yeah, Kitty. I love that song.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, but he would have the cassette tapes on side A would be the clean side. And side B would be... So if you had the CD, it was like the first 5 songs were clean.
Oh, see, I don't know. I didn't listen to the clean one.
6, yeah, you did. No, because they weren't like clean versions. Like they were... The songs were literally clean. Like he put no cussing in the first 4 or 5 songs on purpose.
But you want to have cussing.
Well, that was part of the appeal, right? But like the side 2 that had like "Don't Fight the Feeling,"
it like tricked you
and all
into
that
it.
on there. But like side 1, like "Life is Too Short" is just a clean song.
I love that song.
It's got no language in it. Or,
does it not? Does it not?
I Ain't Trippin'. The song "Oakland." That Oakland. Yeah, that one's clean. Yeah, and then even like on Short Dogs
Maybe
in the
I
House,
just never even noticed that they were clean.
Right. And I think later on it was like, because back when he was first doing that, it was kind of like taboo.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, you had your NWAs and your 2 Live Crews, and you had certain ones,
and see, I never got into those guys.
Yeah.
I feel lame for saying that, but it's true. I got into like Too Short, Tupac, Biggie. Like I liked God, what was that guy's name with the dreads? Coolio.
Oh, Coolio.
Dude, I liked Coolio. I know, right?
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "Who is this?"
No,
chick?
I did too. I liked Coolio for sure, man.
DMX.
Okay, see, I can never get into DMX.
Ludacris. I really like
him.
Ludacris.
Yeah.
Oh, some of his songs, they
All
just
right.
make you want to dance a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not a dancer. Maybe that's part of it.
I like music. I like moving. I'm not a good dancer.
Okay.
I belly danced for many, many years, but that
Okay.
you can't really do that to rap music.
Yeah.
But I'll still dance and sing, and then people can
Yeah.
just not pay attention.
Yeah. So do you ever like do that in front of people? Do you do like karaoke or anything? Or you?
No one wants that.
Okay.
I mean, I would.
Right.
But I respect the crowd enough to know, like,
Yeah.
probably they'd prefer I didn't.
Right.
You know?
So you like to sing, but you don't think you're a good singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. But like in the shower, in your car, you're belting it out.
It's if I'm in. Chris always knows if I'm in a good mood by if I'm sing talking is what he calls it.
Sing talking?
Sing talking.
Okay.
So, did you ever watch that show New Girl?
Yeah, we're
she
watching
does
it
that.
right now.
So she does that.
So don't spoil it for me. We're in season 3.
No, I don't. I never watched it, but everybody says I do what she does, which is sing
Okay.
talk.
Okay.
So like if I'm like,
Oh, she does sing talk. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Now I know what you mean by that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
so like if I was gonna go get something, whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go get in the shower.
Right.
Like then he knows I'm in a really good mood.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if I have music going and I'm like
Yeah.
dancing, he's like, okay, today's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Well, that's good that he has that gauge. Mm-hmm. That's nice for him. You know,
I'm pretty easy.
Because a lot of us, we gotta try to figure that stuff out.
No, I'll tell him.
Yeah. I'm in a bad mood. Stay
Sometimes,
away.
sometimes he probably wishes it was more of a mystery.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think we've known each other for too long.
Yeah.
Like, and that was hard too because it went from like I mean, he was in my mom's wedding 25 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Like he was an usher at the wedding.
Why? Would you guys like to have a family connection or something? Or
No, we're just like best friends.
Oh, you guys were like good friends when you were
Yeah.
but never romantically
Always.
linked.
Yeah. Like
And
we
then-
hooked up once when we were like
Okay.
18.
Okay.
And then I like was mean to him after and
Yeah.
have a lot of guilt about it. But
At least you made up for it now.
But then,
by
you know,
marrying.
I moved away, went to college, I got
Yeah.
married, he got married. Like, but we always stayed in touch.
Okay.
And when I moved back here, like 7 years ago, he's the first person I saw
Nice.
when I got back to Orchid. And it wasn't because I wanted to hook up with him, it's because he was my friend.
Right.
You know, so
Well, that's the
it's
best,
hard,
though.
though, to go to a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
But I think when you get older, you kind of realize that piece isn't really what sticks. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's fun to be giddy and excited and
but
have
it fades.
butterflies,
That
but
fades.
then that doesn't last forever.
Right.
And maybe it does for some people. Good for you.
Right.
But it's not as realistic.
I don't think it does last for anybody. I think people that say that, they're lying.
Well, and if you're going to be with someone forever, for real,
Yeah.
you better like being around that person.
Right.
And if I've been friends with someone for 25 years, probably I like being around them. Mm-hmm. You know?
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's the best kind of marriage to get into.
And he deals with me.
Right.
Which is like, I could never.
Never deal with yourself.
I can barely deal with my own self.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Mm-mm. If someone acted like how I acted and I was in a relationship with them, I'd be like, kick rocks, bro.
At least you're open and honest about that.
No, he is very patient.
Yeah.
And you know, he really loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real.
Right.
Like, as a person.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
You know?
So at what point was it that you guys realized, hey, let's like take this to the next step?
Chris will never realize it, okay? So he started getting a divorce. I actually am the one that served his ex the papers.
I bet you enjoyed that.
No, it was
you didn't?
very
Okay.
stressful. But I kind of was like,
Yeah.
you know, but it was not like fun.
Right.
And he started doing like online dating and this and that. And I was like dating this older guy that was like my mom's age.
Oh, wow.
I'd never dated a guy that much older.
Yeah.
And it was really nice in the sense that, like, he was really, really nice. Like, I was, like, amazing to him. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird. But then it was also like, this is weird. So anyway, I was in Michigan, and I called Chris one night, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, well, aren't you in Michigan? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, how come you never asked me on a date? And he's all, what? And I'm all, I just want to know, you're doing online dating, all these things. Like, how come you never asked me on a date? Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. You have a boyfriend. Yeah. And I was like, but before that or any time. And he's like so thrown off, you know? Right, and I'm like, so basically I forced him into it. Yeah. And I'm like, well, you should. Yeah. I'm going to break up with my boyfriend. And when I get back, we should go on a date. And he was like, okay. Nice. And we never really went on a date. But that was a wrap.
That was it. Rest is history.
Yeah, I also proposed to my ex-husband, so I don't have a problem, like, being the
out front person.
Squeaky wheel.
Outgoing. Yeah. I can tell you're really shy. Mm. You're very recluse.
It's a struggle. It's a real struggle.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Mm. All right, so, Too Short.
What was your first concert? How old were you?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow. I'm not even sure I know what my first concert was.
Like that you remember, like not when you were 2.
Wow. I don't even know. Because,
really?
Seriously, because there was a time that I was going to so many shows that they all blend together.
But you don't remember the very first one?
I don't. It might have been... See, it wasn't until later in life. I was older.
So you were young.
I mean, I was probably early 20s, but it wasn't like when I was a kid.
Wow, I was in 6th grade for my first.
Okay, yeah. See, I can't remember if I saw any shows before that. It might have been AFI in Goleta.
Okay, I remember AFI.
It might have been my first show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever used to go to Java Joe's?
No. Oh. Where's that?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Where was it?
By Mervin's, kind of.
Here in town?
Well, that doesn't exist either.
Right. No, I know where Mervin's is. Yeah.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah, by Big 5.
Kind of, yeah. Okay, yeah. And it was like all the like skater kids would go and they'd have like live bands and stuff.
Oh, somebody else brought this up.
Soylent Green used to play.
Yes.
Dylan Sloan's band.
Slappy. Do you know Slappy?
Oh, yeah. Brian.
So he was on here and he mentioned that place.
Yeah.
I was like, it sounds vaguely familiar.
Joe's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the spot for like a short period of time.
Okay.
I don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah. No, I never went to shows there.
Because you said AFI and
we would go to Goleta in the living room.
Out of hand. Living room, I've been there,
That's not there anymore.
I'm sure.
But this is back when like Eddie Numskull was doing all the promoting and the stuff, and he had all the shows. Ventura Theater is probably where the most shows I've been to, is at Ventura Theater. I've seen a lot of the punk rock's my favorite, and that's where I've seen most of the
Even though you grew up listening to rap.
Yeah, so here's the story. I'll give you the brief story on that, because I have told it before. But so I was all rap until about 1989, 1990, when grunge came out. And, I first hearing Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and Nirvana and Soundgarden and all these groups.
I like those groups.
Oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Mm-hmm. So then my parents, and there it is, my first concert. Boom! Thank you. My parents got me tickets to see Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam was your first concert?
Yes,
Nice.
in San Francisco at Golden Gate Park.
Okay.
And this was speaking of Too Short, I'm playing one song, this was the famous show that put Pearl Jam in hot water for a lot of people, because they came out, they sang, I think, 4 or 5 songs, and then Eddie Vedder's like, I've been up all night with food poisoning and I feel like crap and I'm out of here. And he leaves.
Oh, poo.
And everybody's like, what? Hello? But I didn't care. Because I went there to see Pearl Jam, but Bad Religion was one of the openers.
Oh, I mean, yeah, okay? There you go.
And I had never heard anything like that before. I had no idea who Bad Religion was.
They weren't a thing yet.
Well, they were, but I didn't know.
But you didn't know.
This was already after Stranger Than Fiction came out.
Oh, gotcha.
So, I mean, they were already kind of the mainstream,
okay.
Which is why they were playing with Pearl Jam, obviously.
Right.
But hearing them, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I come back home, and I went, this is back when we had Circuit City. I remember where Joanne's is right now. Yeah. So I went in Circuit City. I got every Bad Religion album that they had in Circuit City. Got all of them, and I was like, "This is the best." Yeah, this is like the best band of all time. And then I started to realize, wait, there's other bands. So then I started getting like some of the Epitaph compilations, and then I got in like Fat Records and Lookout Records and some of these other bands, and I was like, oh my gosh! And ever since then, punk rock's been my favorite. I mean, to this day. Specifically 90s skate punk.
I would say, yeah, punk rock's definitely not my favorite. Okay. But I really like certain songs.
Okay.
For like I said, I like a little bit of everything.
Well, like who? Let's hear who do you like in that genre.
One of my favorites probably is NoFX. Mm-hmm. Sold Out is one of my favorite punk rock songs.
I wanted to use that song for the
opening
of my show, but I realized I couldn't because of copyright. So I gave it to my son, and I said, "Here, write something similar."
Similar. Oh, he does music?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, if you ever listen to that show, he actually wrote that's him in the opening song.
I think the only punk rock concert I've ever been to, other than like little local, which I've been to plenty,
right?
Was Rancid.
Okay.
In
Love
San
Rancid.
Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I mean the other ones, like I went to Ozfest, but that's not really punk
More
rock.
metal
It was
kind of stuff, yeah.
more metally, like System of the Down played, White Zombie played.
Nice.
Like that's more my rock style.
Okay.
Wouldn't be punk rock.
Right.
It would be more like that kind of rock.
Like heavy
I guess.
rock kind of stuff. Yeah.
Heavy rock, or like I love classic rock.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Yeah, nice.
I don't know. I like everything. Man.
What year did you see Rancid? Do you know?
Oh,
around.
What year are we in now? 24. Probably like 2016, maybe.
Oh, pretty recent then. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was living in
Rancid.
Santa Rosa, so it was only like an hour and a half from the house.
Okay.
And the guy I was dating at the time is only punk rock.
Okay.
All punk.
Yeah.
So I went with him, and it was a great show, but I think I don't remember who else played, but I remember liking one of the opening bands better than
I wonder who it was.
the main one, and I was like,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for me, Rancid is like, they're definitely not my favorite punk band, but I love the earlier, and I love how they came out of Operation Ivy. Like, I love Operation Ivy.
I don't know Operation Ivy. I'm not like a deep punk.
So Operation Ivy is one of the original, like, kind of ska punk.
I didn't get into the ska thing, really.
They kind of started that, and their whole story is just cool. They had one album. They were a bunch of teenagers. They had no idea what they were doing. They went on one tour. It just messed them all up because they couldn't handle the fame, and they just broke up. And they all went different directions, and two of the guys formed Rancid, and then and they've been doing Rancid ever since. And
that's what happens.
Yeah, but that whole like Berkeley Bay Area punk scene, like the early years, I'm really fascinated with that whole thing, and they're kind of a part of that.
Yeah,
but definitely Rancid. I like the earlier stuff. Some of the new stuff's okay, but
Yeah, I don't know a lot of their stuff. Some of the songs I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But
well, the bass player.
And I don't like mosh pits.
I don't either.
People think that I'm gonna want to get in the mosh pit for some reason. I think because I'm loud.
And you're tatted up, and you're
that doesn't mean I want to fight people.
You look the punk rock. You look the punk rock.
Dude, I'm growing out a mohawk currently.
Well, there you go.
But I'm not punk rock.
Right.
So that goes back to my identity crisis. Okay.
Yeah.
Grew up here. Everybody called me a hippie.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm gonna go to Humboldt State if I'm a freaking hippie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I go to Humboldt State. Hippies hate me.
Oh, really?
And I'm like,
you weren't hippie enough.
I'm not hippie enough.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, not even close.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And so I was like, I had this like crisis of like, I don't know who I am. Like, nobody likes me. Yeah. And then I moved to Sacramento, and everybody called me.
You want more?
What's it called? Rockabilly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're rockabilly. And I was like, okay, maybe that's what I am.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Santa Rosa, and no, I'm punk rock.
Okay.
So it's like...
So it depends on where you live, really.
Yeah, it depends on where I live, or like what I'm wearing that day. Like, because I can very chameleon. Like, even my own clients will come in and be like, I didn't realize that was you. And I'm like...
Oh, funny.
Oh, hi.
That's kind of cool, though.
I love it, because I was a psych major, so I like messing with people's minds, and I like just seeing people's reactions and like... how my presentation really changes how people talk to me, treat me, how much they take me seriously.
Right.
The way you look really does matter. As much as it shouldn't, or you don't want it to. That's fairyland. It does matter.
And you're right.
Psychologically, it matters.
Yes, it does, because, and I've talked about this a lot when we talk about things like racism and stereotypes and that kind of thing, because there's something involuntary that happens that you kind of have no control over. Like,
no, you don't.
For example, like I always use the example of myself growing up. If there was ever like a big kind of gangbanger looking dude who just looked the part, right? And my whole, not every time, but a good majority of the times whenever I was around that, a fight would break out, or let's just say, I'm just using an out there example. So now if I happen to be around somebody like that, I don't even have to think about it. I get anxious, right? But I'm not trying to be that way.
No.
That guy could be the nicest guy in the world.
Right.
Right? But just the way he looks causes me anxiety because of past experiences.
Right.
And I think there's really no way to avoid that.
No, and even more further than that, like psychologically, like something very basic as like full lips.
Right.
People innately are attracted to that.
Yeah.
They don't mean to be. It's not on purpose.
It's not conscious.
It's actually a real sign of health and vitality and things like that. So like, or, you know, having rosy cheeks or having large breasts or having, you know, those things. Some of those things are not by choice. Like, you can't help it.
Yeah.
You know, even when they do studies on like babies, where their eyes go, you know, when they're looking at a screen, it always goes to faces.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what else is on that screen. It's always going to go to a human face first.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
You know, and you can't control that. And I don't know why people want to so badly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Our brains are wired to make sense of the world. And we all do that in our own way, but we're also influenced by other people, obviously. But like, it's not that you're a bad person. It's just that your brain's trying to make sense of it.
Yeah.
And put it into categories.
Right.
And organize it.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
It's not like...
Right, but some people say that. They'll say that that's your stereotyping or you're racist.
I still use the word retarded all the time.
Yeah, me too.
I worked with mentally challenged people.
Right.
Like, I was a respite worker for adults with developmental disabilities.
Oh, boy.
Okay? So when people come at me for using that word, it's really hard for me not to like get into an intellectual argument.
Right.
Because I'm like, I would never call someone with intellectual disabilities retarded.
Right.
I would never do that.
Right.
I would never go up to a homosexual and call them gay.
Right.
Okay? Like, they're words, man. Like,
yeah, but you might use it in a way that has nothing to do with that.
Right.
Like, oh, that's retarded. Or stop being gay or whatever.
Yeah,
right? You
like,
don't really mean it literally. You just...
Well, and that's the thing. People give these words so much power.
Right.
And it's like, geez, like...
Yeah.
It's fine to have Cracker Barrel, but we can't have Aunt Jemima on the bottle anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not fine to have Cracker Barrel. It's gone.
Oh, is it gone now?
Yes. I was sad. I'm one of the only people in the
I don't
town
like
that
Cracker
liked it.
Barrel,
Yeah,
but...
Nobody did. I don't know. They just...
The gift shop was nice, but overpriced.
Yeah.
But it was cute. That's the only part I liked.
We loved their food.
Oh, really?
It.
Well,
man.
you know...
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Didn't make it
To each his own.
Yeah. But I think the most people in this town didn't. That's why it's not there anymore.
Well, and I think also in this town, unfortunately, what happens is something new comes in, it blows up, they think they're going to be really successful, and then people get over it, and they
Or
fail.
just word of mouth. People say, oh, that place is no good, and then enough people say that. And
or they just go, oh, I've been there, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, I was going to grab some chapstick.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
AKA my crack stick. That's what it's referred to as, because I would fight people for chapstick.
Wow.
For real. It's the first thing I ever stole was chapstick. That's how real the addiction is.
That always reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite. Never seen chapstick.
I ate tater tots earlier as well.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't put any. I don't have any pockets, or I would have brought you some.
You're in a Napoleon Dynamite phase today.
I
Without
love
meaning
it.
to.
I feel like he might be my spirit animal.
Maybe. I would hope so.
I feel like we would get along really well, actually, if he was a real person. I think we would have been friends in high school.
Oh, I'm sure. You would have been his Pedro? Yeah.
No, I want to be the glamour shots girl.
Oh, Deb?
Deb.
Yeah.
Deb's down.
She's
a weird one.
Was it dolphins? No.
Probably.
No. Seahorses. Where she's taking Uncle Rico's picture, and he's like, just put your arm up like this and just... imagine you're surrounded by thousands of little seahorses. But anyway, that's
not
what...
Can't make funny movies anymore.
That's not... unfortunately. All right, back to music. So, if you had a favorite genre, could you pick one? Or is that too hard?
Like if I had to listen to something from a certain era over and over and over, or a genre?
Yeah. Era's different, right? Because I could say like 90s music.
Genre is hard, If I had to pick a genre, like you can only listen to this, but anything out of this, it'd have to be classic rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's some of your favorites in there?
Oh, there's a big array. Because my dad was more like Doors and Pink Floyd and stuff like that. My mom was like Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
And, that kind of more the girly bands like Heart.
Oh, yeah, see, my mom was into that too.
And then a lot of my friends in my early teen years, like one of my good friends, Russell, back then, Chai, he introduced me to like a lot of like Steve Miller and Tom Petty and
Nice.
you know, like those
More
type
like 70s kind of.
yeah. So I don't know, something about that music, it's just very easy. Like I don't have to be in the mood to hear classic rock. Like I have to be in the right mood to listen to reggae. I have to be in the right mood to listen to country. I've got to be in the right mood to listen to like rap. You know what I mean? But I could listen to classic rock pretty much anytime.
Doesn't matter.
It's kind of like it never bothers me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's not normally a time that a song comes on and I'm like, turn this off. Get it. Oh my gosh, look at all the pigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
See my pig?
That's Ladybug, isn't it?
Oh, oops, wrong side.
I was like, am I supposed to be seeing
You're
something?
all what?
Oh, nice.
You're
nice.
a psycho.
Nice.
I used to have a house pig, so
okay.
I love pigs.
Nice.
So
like he had a little potbelly pig or what?
Yeah, he was a little mini potbelly.
Okay. Nice.
His name was Opie.
Nice.
He was named after the
Andy Griffith?
character from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, not Andy Griffith. No. Okay. That's different Opie.
But that was before he died on the show. And then he died on the show, and I was like, Opie, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going to die. Like, he was my favorite character.
I've never seen the show, but now all the listeners are going to know he died, so.
It's old.
It's a spoiler.
Dude, Sons of Anarchy is like...
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Now it's probably like 20 years old.
Yeah,
I don't even
probably.
know. Like, I was trying to talk to one of my clients the other day about True Blood, and she's like, what?
Oh,
and I'm all, yeah, I had this whole party, like, for the finale, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, it's like not that old. It was on HBO, and I looked. It was like 20 years ago.
That's
and
the
I'm
vampire
like,
one, right?
Yeah.
Is it Anna Paquin?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, that
Time flies. That's what I'm saying.
That 20 years ago.
That is what I'm saying.
That's when you really start questioning, like, the Matrix thing.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
starting to make a lot of sense.
So what were we talking about? Like classic rock?
Oh, classic rock.
kinda
Yeah.
groups that you're
Yeah.
Majorly into.
Yeah, but some of my, like, favorite, like, songs, because that's how I have to kind of break it down, because I don't have, like, a favorite group. Like, my favorite song of all time.
You have one.
I do.
Crazy. Okay.
I do. It's from Pink Floyd.
Okay.
And it's called Wish You Were Here.
Nice one. Yes.
And I love that song. Pink Floyd has also my second favorite song.
Comfortably Numb?
No.
Oh.
It's called The Machine.
Okay.
And I love that song. The lyrics to that song are, the song music as well. But
What
like,
album is that on? Is that?
I don't know. I'm not good at album names and stuff.
I'm trying to think.
I just know songs.
Yeah.
And then I loved Madonna in the 80s.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was one of those kids that was
Yeah.
voguing in every picture.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, but I can't support Madonna anymore, man.
Why? What happened?
She's a monster.
Oh, just her personal life?
Look at her face, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what are you doing?
She's trying to stay relevant.
It's not relevant.
That's the only way she knows how.
Why do they not understand that aging
Yeah.
is a privilege not everyone gets?
Right.
And you don't look younger. You just look like you had a lot of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
You still are old.
Right.
Okay?
I almost feel like they think like, yeah, but that's what happened to them. That's not going to happen to me. I'll get all the work done and I'll look great.
No, you look horrible.
And then they look terrible. I was like, what happened? It's like, it happens to all of you.
I mean, she's
Just
got to be
stop.
in her 60s now or,
at least.
or something,
At
you know,
least.
and she's
Yes.
still like,
Yes.
it's like, just go sit in a rocking chair and, like, not that that's what old lady, whatever,
Right.
but you
Or
know
just
what I
write
mean?
music.
Like,
Yeah.
enjoy your life,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
go live on a farm. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I had all the monies and I didn't have to ever worry about working again, I would do, like, a dog rescue or some kind of, like, farm or, like, old horses could come die.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
like, and just be chilling.
But I wonder if it's because that's been such a huge part of their life. That's all they know.
Well, of course, that's it. It's like military, too. It's like once you're in it, it's really hard to get out of it.
Right. Right.
You become institutionalized. And I'm sure musicians probably have that happen, too. There's very few famous people that can keep together.
Right. Right.
I always say being famous would be like the worst thing ever.
See, I say the same thing. I wouldn't mind being rich.
Oh, I would love to
But
be
I
rich.
would not want to be famous.
No.
Yeah.
I want to be famous, but like I'd want to be like Keanu Reeves famous.
Yes.
You know, where like
He can still walk around the streets.
no one
and-
knows what he's doing, and
Right.
like his wife like is the normal looking lady, and like he wears normal stuff, and he like says hi to people.
Yeah, he's very down to earth. Yeah, very down to earth.
But I also understand like the Britney Spears like.
Yeah.
if people were chasing me around like that constantly and I couldn't even get in my car to the point of like harassment,
Right.
I might lose my mind too, man. You know? Like,
well, that's what happens to most of them.
Sometimes I feel like that anyway, and that's not even happening. So he's gonna be like, I'm gonna have to edit out all your loud laughing.
No, laughing's good. I like laughing. In fact, before I started season 2, I had the whole collage of them.
My laughs either love or hate. People either love it or it's like nails on chalkboard.
But at least it's your laugh.
It is. I can't help it.
Yeah.
That's part of me.
That's the best kind of laugh, the one that just comes out.
Yeah, I actually did my, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here for my sign language final.
Oh, nice.
And I remember after my teacher being like, thank you so much for like doing a cool song. Because everybody did like Somewhere Over the Rainbow or like some dumb stuff. And I like picked a song I liked.
Right.
But it was also slow enough to sign to. Yeah. And he was just like so excited that happened. That happened to me another time with music as our topic. I was taking when I was in college, it was a criminal justice class for like juveniles and stuff. And for one of our projects, we had to pick a song that we felt related to the generation for our project. And everybody picked like, We Are the World. And like all these like lame songs. I picked Offspring's The Kids Aren't Alright.
Nice.
Right? And again, my teacher after it was like, thank you so much.
That's awesome.
He's like, it's so nice to see someone like pick a cool song, but that also makes sense with like what we're talking about. Like, it's not like you're just picking some random.
Now, what was that project for? The Offspring one?
It was a juvenile justice class. So
like, what were you supposed to do with the song?
We were supposed to pick a song that we felt represented the youth of America.
Oh, okay.
And then like make a slideshow out of it.
Right.
You know?
So everyone else picked like the happy stuff, and you picked like, no, the kids are not all right.
Yeah, I picked some real and everybody's like picking like Kumbaya and stuff, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah. But it was nice to at least have my professors like recognize that and not like ding me for being different. Right. Because a lot of my life, that's what's happened. I've always called myself a misfit toy. Okay. Like. I did have professors that didn't do that. Like, I remember some professors being like, anyone but Sabrina? Yeah. Please.
Someone else, please.
Tell her shut up. Or I had one teacher actually at Humboldt that ended up getting fired because I found out he was sexually harassing a bunch of chicks. But what happened with him and I was not that. Right. What happened with him and I is that in a class I like asked a question and he got all like PO'd at me in class and said that I was purposefully trying to ask questions that I knew he didn't know the answer to.
Oh, to make him look stupid?
To try to make him look stupid.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not allowed to teach anymore.
Good.
Don't mess with me.
I'm sure that was why.
That was like the catalyst because I reported it and I was like, this guy is not cool, man. And then they ended up, it come out like other girls had reported other things. Right. Not that, but... Okay. It was like enough to where they were like, okay, this guy's
like
a problem.
Was he like an older guy or was he?
No, he thought he was all that. Okay. He was probably like, I mean, I was in my 20s. He was probably in his 30s. Okay. Yeah. He was a good looking guy.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, he was a poo-poo face.
Using his platform for the wrong things.
Yeah, and just like, get over yourself. You're the teacher. I'm supposed to ask you questions. I'm sorry that you don't know the answer. Just say, I don't know. I'll find out.
Well, it's such a pride thing that they get. Like, well, what's wrong with not knowing the answer?
Nothing.
To me, if I don't have the answer, that gives me opportunity to find it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. He could have said, you know what? That's a great question. I'm going to find out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Instead, he got like all defensive and offended.
Yeah, because I think with teachers, and
I think because I was a woman,
they're in that. Yeah, that too. Like you're in that position, and you feel like I'm the guy that knows all the stuff. I mean, I'm the professor here, you know. So who are you to tell me? You're just a student,
right?
You know. So yeah, I
and it sucks because teachers can really make or break a class. Yeah. Like there could be an amazing class that you get nothing out of because the teacher's horrible, and a class that like isn't that great, but the teacher's awesome and you love it. So yeah, that has nothing to do with music.
It does. Everything has to do with music. So Pink Floyd, you said your first two favorites.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten to see any of those guys live?
No. Okay. No, I like Bob Dylan a lot too. Okay. I got to see him once.
Really?
But it was very sad.
Yeah, because he's old.
He shouldn't perform anymore.
I know.
It was like...
I've seen live footage, but I've never seen him live.
Yeah, it was just like like I couldn't even tell what song he was singing.
Right.
And I was like, I wasn't mad at him. Right. I was just like, Oh.
You're just bummed out. You're like I wish I would have saw you 30 years ago.
I was just like, I shouldn't have came.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean,
it was free, but
see, Bob Dylan, honestly, like people, I love Bob Dylan. Don't get me wrong.
I love
as a
his
songwriter,
music.
he's one of the best, right, of all time.
Yeah.
But he's one of those people that, I mean, like the vocals, I mean, they fit what he's doing. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
They fit what he's doing.
But it's
like,
classic,
if he was to
like,
be on
good
like
singer.
American Idol,
Yeah, they'd be like,
or
you're
The Voice. Yes. I mean, he would get the red buzzer like right away. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
But there's so many people like that. I've always thought about like Kurt Cobain or some of these guys. Like, you listen to him sing, you don't think, boy, that guy's got a golden voice.
You know, and you're going to hate this because you said you love Nirvana, but I like some of Nirvana's songs, but whenever I hear Nirvana, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but what I hear is this, wah, 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 and I'm just not into it. I want stuff that like is either makes me feel something or makes me want to dance.
Yeah.
And his music doesn't really do that for me. It just sounds whiny.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop whining. Put on your big boy pants.
Is it because of the lyrics or because of just the way he sounds?
I think it's the way he sounds.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what's messed up is I really like Courtney's music.
Oh, like Hole? Okay. Well, I mean, that's basically Nirvana.
No.
Just with a female singer. That's really what it is.
She doesn't sound whiny.
No, I know the vocals are different. That's my point. But like, if you listen to the what's the album? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The one with Miss World on it and
I don't know. I'm not good at album names.
Live Through This. You listen to the Live Through This album was co-written by Kurt Cobain.
But
like they wrote it together.
Her voice makes you feel something.
Sure. Yes.
His voice doesn't make me feel anything other than a whiny.
Right. So it's the vocals you don't like.
Yeah, I think it's the vocals.
It's not the music so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to like it.
Yeah.
More.
Well, like I said, I don't think he's a great vocalist either.
There's some like I like Heart Shaped Box and like there's a few that are
it's
alright.
more mellow.
But I don't know. It just starts to sound like whiny to me.
I'm with you.
Okay.
But I can still like it.
Yeah, I don't hate Nirvana.
Right.
I'm not. It's just not my go-to.
Right. But like I said, if he was to show up on The Voice and he was to go out there and sing, nobody would have turned around.
They would have been like, "Is this guy homeless?
Yeah.
Someone get him water."
Yeah. It's like, this guy's terrible, right? But I think with what he did with Nirvana, I think it fit.
Well, and he was a icon of a generation.
Yeah,
really,
for sure.
Which is crazy.
For sure.
I never got into the grunge thing, like style-wise. That was.
Oh, you mean like the scene?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was never in any scene.
I haven't been either. That's when people say that I like punk rock so much, and it's like, yeah, but I'm not that guy. I'm not like you talk about the mosh pit. I've never been in a mosh pit.
No, if someone hits me, we're fighting.
I just don't.
I don't want to hit for fun.
I like to stand on the side and just enjoy the music.
I want to. I want to be there and enjoy. Yeah, right. I'm not trying to elbow people.
Sure.
And then I'm always worried about like other people in there, and it's like, no, this isn't fun anymore.
I've been with friends.
Feel the same way about spicy food.
They go in there. Oh, you don't like spicy food?
It's not that I don't like it.
It doesn't
hurts
like you.
Like my mouth hurts, and then that's not fun.
And then you need more chapstick.
You have to have chapstick. I've been watching that Hot Ones though show.
What is that?
I've laughed out loud.
I don't know what that is.
It's a YouTube guy, and it's like he interviews famous people. Mm-hmm. But they have 10 hot wings from like least hot to most hot.
Oh, no way.
And while they're interviewing, they go through the hot wings. And like some people take it really well.
Do they have to go all the way to the end?
I mean, no one has to, but they do.
They just see how far they can get.
They always go to the end.
They always go, okay.
But by the end, they're like, I hate you. Why are you doing this? Like they're like looking for, they can't. Dude. He's like trying to still interview him. And they're like, I don't even know what you just said, dude.
That is so cool. I want to check that out.
Funny.
So who has been on there?
All
kinds of people. They have like musicians.
One of the funniest ones I think was Shaq.
Oh, okay, nice, nice.
But you have to keep watching it because it's not that good in the beginning because he's doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. So you're like,
yeah.
But then I think 5 or 6 in, he starts getting weird, and he's like, I don't know where I am. And there's another guy in there. He's like, I feel like I'm on drugs, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kevin Hart. His is hilarious.
He's funny too.
He's like, I can't feel my face.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's such a great idea.
Yeah, Shaq is.
I wouldn't have made it past wing 1.
So I used to work at Neverland. ranch.
That's what Chris was
for
saying.
a couple years, yeah.
That's weird.
One time Shaq was out there, and we had that ride. We had fair rides out there.
Yeah. I've never been.
That one. There's sometimes called the spider, sometimes called the octopus. But it's got like the arms and then the little buckets spin around.
Yep.
When you sit in it, right, and then your legs go here, and they lift up the thing to close it, and your legs go like this. So we're trying to put Shaq in this.
No,
thing.
he can't get in it.
Couldn't fit, right?
No way.
So he had to stick his legs out the top and kind of drape them over the thing, which is totally not safe, totally not okay.
Yeah, he could have lost a leg.
Right, yeah, everything else, but he wanted to ride it. So we're like, all right.
You do what Shaq says.
Yeah, but he ended up, because of that, when I closed it, his legs were out, he ended up putting his boot or his shoe on my white shirt. And I had the footprint right there.
You have it?
I don't have it anymore. But I don't think... I might still have it, but I remember I came home and I showed Bethany, and she's like, what? That's Shaq. I mean, it's like, Shaq's got some skis for feet.
Oh,
so, I mean,
but then he stands next to that Asian basketball player, and he looks short.
Who was that?
I don't know his name.
Yao Min or whatever.
Yeah, something. Yeah. He's like 8 foot tall or something.
Yeah, right.
Shaq just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah, if you can make Shaq look little, then you're a big dude. But,
the chicken wings looked like so little in his hand, too. He's like,
that's awesome. I'm going to have to check that show out.
Oh, it's funny. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it.
No, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Free Hot Ones plug. You're welcome.
Yeah, Hot Ones.
Because this is also probably going to go viral.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I hope so. I hope it does.
I'm going to go viral one day.
This goes viral when the guest makes it do that. Like all the most downloaded episodes are the ones that whoever was on promoted it big time. Because I can only do so much on my own, right? But if you're out there telling everybody about it, you're sharing it on Facebook, you're sharing it on Instagram.
I already shared it today.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I appreciate it. So, I mean,
and then I'll put a link in my LinkedIn for people to listen to it as well.
Because I'm continuously...
Or not LinkedIn, whatever that's called, where you have all the button choices.
I don't even know. I'm so not techie.
Me neither. That's why I'm like that thing where you have the choices of buttons. Right. This is as techie as I get. Hey, turn it off, and then turn it back on.
What?
That didn't work?
Oh, right, exactly. Unplug it and then plug it back in. Yeah. That's your big advice.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. So let's
my
go back.
first concert.
Oh, let's hear it.
I definitely remember.
Okay.
I was in 6th grade.
6th grade.
6th grade.
And it was New Kids on the Block.
This was back in the early 90s, so we could do things like this without our parents. Mm-hmm. This would not fly now. Mm-mm. But 6th grade, me and a couple of my friends went to Santa Barbara Bowl and saw No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom.
Okay.
And I think it was 1996.
Nice.
Okay. It was an amazing show.
Yeah.
That was my first concert.
Okay. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen to this. Back to the Beetlehouse. So the girl that was playing...
Sally?
No.
Oh, that's not Beetlejuice. Hold on.
No, but she was there. Because Beetlehouse is all Tim Burton.
Oh, it's just all Tim Burton. I thought it was all just Beetlejuice.
It's not just Beetlejuice. But the girl that was doing Lydia.
Yes.
Lydia? Yeah, Winona Ryder's character from Beetlejuice looked just like her.
Wow.
Like her from the 80s when the movie came out.
Wow.
Looked just like her. So she did one song when we first got there.
I love Winona.
Well, when she came back and did her second song that she came down, it was Just a Girl.
Oh,
it was
cute.
Awesome.
Yeah, this was when Gwen Stefani was like at the top of the food chain. Yeah.
But here's what's really fascinating to me, right?
I don't like her anymore either.
And so Tragic Kingdom was obviously their pinnacle,
yes.
right? The album is amazing.
Yes.
But what's so funny to me is that first of all, it was their third album. They had an album. Their second album came out literally like 4 months before Tragic Kingdom.
That's really close together.
It's hardly good. Huh. Nobody even knows about it. It's got no singles off it, no hits.
I wonder why.
I don't know. And then for whatever they did in that time in the studio, 4 months later, they just nailed something.
They drank the juice.
I guess.
They took the juice.
But they weren't able to do it again.
Manning calls it the juice. Something. The golden juice.
Yeah.
That's how you go viral.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
You got to use the buzzwords?
You have to talk about the golden juice.
Okay. The golden juice. All right.
The Illuminati stuff. Yeah. Mother's milk.
But it was just and then after that it was like, whatever.
Yeah,
like
and then she went solo.
And solo was the poppy stuff. I was like, Although I did like the song she did with Eve. That song was cool.
Which one?
Oh, the do 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 do.
Oh yeah. I know the riff that you're singing. Yeah.
I forgot the name
I don't
of the
know what
song.
it's called either.
Yeah, it was like in the early 2000s.
Yeah. I got drunk a lot to that one. This is bananas. BANANAS.
I don't know what that is. Is that the same song?
That's Gwen.
Oh, really? Oh, that's her solo song.
That's a solo song. That was in Elmer's a lot when I went there. I used to be there a lot.
At Elmer's?
Yeah, that was my spot.
Yeah.
I live right behind it.
Oh, okay.
But I still drove there.
How long ago was that?
Stupid idiots.
So did you know, like...
2005?
Okay. Nice.
That's when I was 21.
Back.
Yeah, that's when I turned 21.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then I bartended at O'Sullivan's when I turned 21 as
nice.
well. But I didn't live down there, so I would go to Elmer's. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was back when, what's it called, was still there? Jay's Fish and Chips was still over there?
Oh, Jay's? Yeah,
that's
Jay's
good
is the
stuff.
spot right
Yeah.
there. I used to take my grandpa there all the time.
Used to be the spot. Now it's gone.
Well, yeah, now Josh is with it, but...
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Snow? You know Josh.
I don't
That
know
owns
Josh.
O'Sullivan's now?
No.
What?
I don't know anybody that owns anything down there.
Weird.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, but I never heard of that guy.
Shout out to Josh Snow. You're welcome.
Yeah.
He bought O'Sullivan's after because when I worked there, Jim Battle still owned it.
Okay.
And then he sold it to Josh, and Josh, during COVID, during the shutdown, took over Jay's spot too, and is trying to put it, like, make it this big restaurant thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it has taken him 4,000 years.
That's a long time.
So nobody's holding their breath anymore. But Josh, we hope you do it. We love you, Josh. I love you, Josh.
Nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. That's how you don't have to edit out names. You just give them a little...
Yeah, you give him a shout. You know.
Give Josh a little...
Yeah.
You're welcome, Josh.
All right, let's go back to Madonna.
Oh.
Yeah, back to Madonna. So
Madonna.
you said 80s Madonna.
Oh, 80s Madonna.
Okay.
I've never seen Madonna live.
Okay, I haven't either.
It had always been on my bucket list, but now I don't want to see Madonna live.
Right.
So that's really disappointing.
Yeah.
I still, even though people tell me don't, I still do want to see Stevie Nicks live. I would still like to see Stevie Nicks. I got to see Heart live at Bottle Rock.
Okay.
And
how was that?
It sounded, I mean, it blew me away.
Yeah, really? They sounded good still?
Amazing.
Nice.
Like...
You sure they weren't lip-singing?
No. And I thought the same thing. I thought, this sounds just like the album. There's no way. And then they start talking, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
That was an amazing show.
Yeah.
Weezer was there that year, too. They were pretty good, but I didn't want to deal with all the crowd of them.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah. Heart was really, really
Yeah, Heart
really,
is one of those
really
bands I grew up with because my
Heart
mom was
was
a fan.
amazing live.
Yeah.
And System of the Down was amazing live. That guy can hold notes for days.
Yeah.
Like, I was impressed.
Yeah, he's a good singer.
And Ozzy's weird. So, I mean, obviously, this was...
You say that like that's a shock.
No, I mean, like, obviously, this was a long time ago. But
Yeah.
this was... The Ozfest I went to was supposed to be the last Ozfest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, every year's the last one. Whatever.
That's how you sell tickets.
So, well, yeah, but you'd think after a few years they get the shtick.
Yeah.
So he literally would, like, come out on the stage, like...
With his walker.
And, like, grab these buckets of water and, like... toss them out, right? But then he'd get on the mic and kill it.
Oh, really?
And I'd be like, what?
So he still sounded good.
Dude, he sounded great.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I was like, how? Wow. It was shocking. He
Yeah.
was really, really good. But this was, 20 years ago also.
Right.
Everything was 20 years ago.
Yeah, he's looking bad these days.
Yeah, he's old,
Bad.
man.
I don't think he even performs at all now.
I hope not.
Yeah.
He needs, that's like Biden. Like, let him get his
Yes.
ice cream and go night-night.
That's right.
He just wants a nap.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Biden. I feel really bad for him. I think it's elder abuse.
Oh, I feel, yeah, it's for sure.
I feel like it's really wrong what they're doing to him.
Yes.
Not that I like him in general, but
Yeah.
even if I didn't, I wouldn't want that
Right.
to happen.
Well, that's where we're going next. Is politics. So we'll talk about some
Well,
of
that's a
that
good
stuff.
segue.
But let's do.
He's all, no, we're going back to Madonna.
Madonna real quick, just 'cause I want to know so Madonna has some songs that to this day hit me like in that feeling area, like that. Just I don't know how to explain it. Not that it makes me sad, but it just either makes me
Which
nostalgic.
one? I want to know.
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
Just give me one.
This used to be my playground.
Oh.
I mean, is beautiful.
Yes.
And I know that's from League of Their Own. It's not really from one of her albums, but it's
No,
such a
Playground's
great
on
song.
Immaculate Collection.
Well, that's like greatest hits album.
That's like the best album.
Well, of course, it's got all the good ones.
Now, if there was one album I could only listen, if it was an album question, not a genre question, like you can only listen to one full album for the rest of your life, it'd be Madonna Immaculate Collection, for sure.
Well, see, a greatest hits album is a good choice.
Yeah.
For anybody that's a
But
fan.
there's no other greatest hits albums that I would want to listen to
No?
like that.
Okay. Not even Pink Floyd.
No.
Okay.
No, because I don't like all their music.
See, Pink Floyd is one of those ones you got to listen. Their albums are a finished product. Like, they designed it so you listen to the full album all the way through. It's like a
Have you ever done the
thing.
Wizard of Oz thing with it?
No.
I did. It's weird.
With Dark Side of the Moon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It actually works?
It does work.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like... But it makes sense.
Yeah. I wonder if... Did they ever confirm...
I would say
just
purpose? Not being sober.
Okay. Yeah. I'm always sober.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know? I'm high on life. You know? I'm high on life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so there's
Good
that
for
one,
you.
and then there's the... whatever that one... The one in Spanish. Is it Spanish?
Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about Madonna?
Yeah.
Oh, La Bonita?
Yes.
Like...
La Isla Bonita.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Nobody knows that song.
Oh, yeah. It hits me. Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful song.
Great song. Yeah. Awesome.
That's a beautiful song.
So any of those ones from that era specifically are the ones that, although, you know what, I listen to some of her later stuff.
I like some of the later,
stuff.
like Frozen I liked.
Yep.
But anything after that, I think it kind of tapered off for me.
Music. That's a good one. That's a dancey one.
Yeah.
Or, what's that? What the Bedtime Stories album had some.
That was a good album.
My Baby's Got a Secret. That one. That was a
Yeah.
good song.
My classics are more like Express Yourself.
Oh, but yeah.
You know,
you
Papa
mentioned-
Don't Preach.
Yeah.
Those
Like
ones.
a Virgin. All those
Nah,
ones.
not Like a Virgin. That's too played out.
Too played out. Okay.
I feel like it's like on everything. You know what I mean? I like, and it doesn't have a lot of meaning to me.
Yeah. You don't relate.
I liked the redo of Like a Virgin on Moulin Rouge. That was amazing.
Oh, are you a fan of that movie? That's my wife's all-time favorite movie.
I don't think it's my favorite movie, but that movie is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like visually.
Oh, it's Baz Luhrmann's is
It's
amazing.
just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate just the beauty of that movie.
Okay, so this will be is unpopular opinion. It's probably the first thing we really disagree on.
Uh-oh.
So, like I told you, my wife loves that movie, and I love the movie visually. I love the reworkings of the songs. I love the actors.
The costumes.
In it. Nicole Kidman, Ewan McGregor, great. John Leguizamo, awesome. All those people are great, right? They're fantastic.
Yes.
I cannot, and this is who I am, I guess. I cannot latch on to this idea that this guy visits a whorehouse and falls wholeheartedly in love with a prostitute.
Oh, dudes do it every day. Well, what are you talking about?
But do they though?
Yeah, they do.
Or is it? Or
they totally think that it's going to be a thing.
Well, yes, but that's not what happened in the movie. Like, he actually wanted to take her out there and marry her and the whole thing.
No, they want to do that.
Yeah, but you don't think that's real love, though.
No, I don't.
It's more like, oh, that was the best sex I ever had. I'm in love.
No. I had a guy friend here in town who always dated strippers from the Rhino, and every time I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? You know what happens every time. And he's like, no, this one's different. I'm going to help her. And
well, see, that's...
And, like, try to, like, he would go and, like, throw, like, $1,000 or, like, send roses and take her on these trips. And I'm like, she's a stripper.
Right.
She's not want to be your housewife.
Well, that's what doesn't make sense.
But he really thought he was gonna housewife this girl up.
It's the Mighty Mouse.
I think it's kind of like girls
persona.
thinking the bad boy, they can change him,
Yeah.
and like, oh, it'll be different with me.
Yeah.
Like, no, it won't.
I've had plenty of people in my family and that's why we talk about the Mighty Mouse persona. Like, here I come to save the day. You know, it's like we think that, oh, this girl's messed up. I'm gonna help her. I'm going to pull her out of that. And then I watch these people I know that just do it over and over and over, and it never works out. It never... It's always... And I'm not saying that people that are doing that or living that lifestyle, there's no hope for them. They're just screwed. No, of course. There's plenty of people that come out of that, and they're wonderful people, of course. But, like, and then I also have people say, oh, I'm just looking for somebody. They'll tell me... A guy will tell me, Ryan, I'm just trying to... I just wish I could find a good girl so I could, finally settle down. I'm like, well, where are you looking? I've been in the bars. I've been at the strip club. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I wonder why
Tinder.
you can't find one. Yeah, it's like, dude, what are you doing? You're not going to find, like you said, a wholesome housewife. I mean, I shouldn't say you're not gonna, right? I'm not saying it's beyond the realm of possibility.
Well, anything's possible.
Right.
But it's not the best pool to dip your toes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to a bar...
Maybe if you're 21.
Yeah.
But if, you're in your 30s going to the bar trying to find a girl...
It's just hookup culture.
She's probably not high caliber.
Right.
Because she should have other at this point.
Yes. So that's why Moulin Rouge, I can't buy into that.
Yeah, and you don't have to. That's okay. I'm not mad at you about that.
But I love the movie.
Yeah, I don't love the movie. I love the visuals and the music of the movie.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
It's just beautifully done.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, last thing, and then I'll give you a break. So
I'm all.
Can you give me the top 5? Could you name a top 5 favorite artists of all time?
A top 5 favorite music artists?
Yeah. Either a band or a singer or whatever.
Okay, I'll try. I don't know if it's realistic, but just
it could even be some of the ones you've already mentioned.
They will be in there for sure. There's a band called Enigma that I really enjoy.
Sadness and
pretty much any time.
Right, that's them, right? And that yeah, I like that one.
Yes, that's a go-to for me when I feel stressed. And then Pink Floyd would be on there for sure. Madonna would be on there. Probably Fleetwood Mac, honestly, would be on there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great.
And I wouldn't mind like an old greatest hits like Garth Brooks.
Okay, so you like the country.
I like old country.
Okay. Well, that's not. You like 90s country. That's what you mean by old.
I like older
old
than that
country's
too.
Like Hank Williams.
I like Hank Williams too, but I think when I was growing up, the country I was mostly introduced to was 90s country.
Yeah.
Tim McGraw, Garth Brooks,
Yeah.
Shania Twain, like all those kind of Dixie Chicks. Like
right. The Chicks. Dixie's racist. Come
Did you know
on
it's
now.
actually changed, like for real? Like on when you look it up?
Yes. Of course it is. Of course it is. Because the whole world was offended by that, obviously.
They're that important.
Yes, they were so mad. I mean, you just saw people.
That's the part I thought was the funniest. Not even that they did it, but that they thought they were that important that anyone cared.
Yeah. And Lady A.
If anything, Antebellum or whatever.
You can't say that either. That's racist.
The stupidest thing I've ever
Dixie
heard.
Antebellum is racist.
Don't say any words, okay?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna get mad.
At least for this particular 5 minutes.
I'm having to learn that now, having younger people in my shop.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of always either the same age or younger than most of my coworkers, and now I'm the oldest, and I have to kind of like. I'm not good at filtering myself because I'm never trying to be mean or hurt anyone's feelings.
Sure.
But they're different.
Yeah.
They have a different way of receiving things. And that's been a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't understand their music. So I know I'm old.
Yeah. That's why I'm at Ricky's. Some of the younger drivers, they'll show me stuff and I'm like, this is terrible. What, you like this? This is terrible.
Or a lot of it, like, you've never even, like, not that, because we're old, we haven't heard of it, but, like, no one's ever heard of it. Like, they want to be different.
They want to be way underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Okay.
Okay. All right. Are you able to give me 2 or 3 favorite songs from these 5 artists on the fly, or would you rather me contact you later about it?
Oh, no, I can't. Return to Innocence.
Yeah. I only know those 2 songs. Sadness and Return to Innocence. Those are the only 2 I know.
And I'm bad at names, so I'm like number 5 on the one I have on my phone.
Right. Well, I'm gonna contact you later anyway to get some of the other, because you'll have time to look it up and stuff, give you more time. But
Pink Floyd. I mean, I might need more time.
Okay.
For 5.
Yeah.
From each one.
Yeah.
But I could definitely come up with 5 from each of those for sure.
Okay, cool. Then I'll let you know later on. So
yeah, I hand stamped those bags.
Okay. Very cool. And the vagina stamp.
Yeah.
First time I've ever seen one of those.
Sometimes people think it's a donut. I'm like, yeah. It's a donut.
All right.
Oh, those are some of your stickers.
Oh, cool.
That's my menu in case you or your wife ever need waxing.
Okay, so you say you do male. Do guys do this?
Absolutely.
How many, percentage-wise, how many men are coming in your place?
Are you talking about Brazilians or are you talking about just waxing?
Well, let's start with just anything.
Just waxing,
so
I would say.
Most guys, I imagine, get their chest, their back done, like Italian guys got to come in there.
Eyebrows, ears.
Nose?
That's the fave, yeah.
Nose?
Yeah.
Inside your nose?
Yeah, well, around the edge, yeah.
You wax it?
Yes.
Ow! Does that hurt?
Okay, no.
Holy
God,
smokes.
why do people always think
Okay,
that?
so listen, I got one of those.
Yeah, I know, and then it's all pokey in there.
Yeah, but even that makes me go, wah, wah.
Yeah,
and my eyes water and the whole
different.
deal.
No,
Wow.
to ask Chris. And ask Dan.
Yeah?
Yes, I have watch his. That's what we did on the reel was his nose,
I'll have to check that out.
and
man.
he's come back for it.
Okay, so if you get that done,
Yeah,
how often would you have to come back
for the
to it?
nose once every 2 months, maybe.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Yeah. All right. Okay, so back to what you're saying. So the nose, most guys do the nose.
Nose, backs, chest.
Okay, so when we're talking Brazilian,
Brazilian,
which is the pubic area, right?
the whole
That's-
shebang
okay.
bang.
So how many guys are doing that?
Regulars, I probably have 20% men.
Really? That surprises me.
Oh no, I'd like it to be more.
Well, I'm sure, but that's surprising that there's that many guys.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't know any
and what's
guys.
interesting is a lot of people assume that if a guy gets a Brazilian, it's a gay male. Mm-hmm. I have no gay male clients.
Mm-hmm.
It's all straight men over 40.
Well, how do you know them? Do you ask them?
How old they are?
No, how are you gay? Are you straight?
No, you just know.
Oh, we'll talk about that when we get into some talk soon. Because I agree with you, but there's a lot of people that hear you say something like that, say, "How dare you? Dare you say something like that?" You know?
Dare me.
Okay. So now I have some questions.
Yeah.
What's this all about? Permanent hair removal?
Yeah, so that's
Like
actually
permanent?
Yeah, so it's like laser, but
You just kill the
not
follicles?
laser. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a solution you put on once you remove the hair from the follicle.
Okay.
So after you get waxed.
And is there any danger to that at all?
No, and there's no pain.
Okay. And it literally never goes
But
back?
it's 6 to 12 sessions for you to have no hair
And it will
regrowth.
never come back?
It'll never come back.
Ever?
Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that is something.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why that's the priciest thing on there, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's forever.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
awesome.
So the 6 sessions, so you need to do this twice if you were to do it?
Some people only need 6. Some people have to do
Okay.
12. Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
kind
it
of
just
depends on your hair
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What else I got here? This is fun. I've never had anybody bring me gifts before.
Oh,
shoot.
ooh, falling everywhere for
Yeah.
you.
Oh, that's your shirt.
Oh yeah, that's the shirt I have
Okay.
on.
Just with
Yeah.
the different.
Oh, that one says
slogan.
beautifully tortured. Yeah.
Okay. You have to explain this one to me.
Oh, you didn't watch Dave Chappelle?
No.
See, I thought you'd get that
Not
one.
that part.
I was like,
No.
which sticker will he get? And I was like, he'll
No.
get this one. So it's from a Dave Chappelle sketch, and
Okay.
he's playing Prince.
Okay.
And he has his boots on this guy's couch, and the guy's like, "Don't put your shoes on my couch" or something. And he's
Yeah.
like, putting them all in the couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure if
You
it had to
should
do with
watch
the,
that skit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
I've been here. I went to a field trip at this place.
Wonderful. It's a great
Yes,
spot.
It's very cool. Very
Love the loofah farm.
cool. I call loofahs, I call them foo-foos.
They are foo-foos,
don't
but
know.
guys like them too. They're nice and
Yes.
scrubby.
Oh, yes. They feel very nice. Especially me. I have like dry skin and stuff.
Well, and then once it gets like to where you don't want to use it anymore, you can use it to like wash dishes. Like-
Really?
Oh yeah, you can throw it in the washer.
All right. What do we got going here? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, see, this is something I've never seen.
There you go.
This is a vagina-shaped candle.
Yes.
Okay.
I almost brought you the
I'm
dick
scared
one.
to ask what it smells like.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay.
Tuna. No, vanilla. I have weenie ones too, but
Really?
I thought you'd like the vagina better.
Yes,
I didn't
yes.
want to make you feel weird
yes.
about getting a wiener. Maybe you'd be into it. I don't know. It's a
Like
very
you said,
little
you
wiener.
didn't know me when you first got here, so
Right,
you know
right.
you really don't know.
You never
so.
know.
Very cool. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for being the first person to ever bring me a gift. Maybe this will become a trend.
Yeah, and see, this one is the one that is.
Oh, I didn't get to that one.
That's okay. Those are just little tiny ones, but
Okay.
that's just my logo.
Okay.
But that's for the boys.
Okay. All right. So this.
Because I've had a lot of stickers with the nothing
Yeah.
finer than a wax vagina,
Yeah.
and my guys are always like, "What about us?"
And this says nothing
So-
sweeter than a waxed wiener,
That's right.
which doesn't really rhyme, but
It does.
It fits.
But it rhymes though.
well, but
just go with it.
It would need to be sweener.
Nothing sweeter than a. I mean, just put a little twang in there.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
as good as I could get without making it raunchy.
It's yes.
And I feel like a happy little hot dog.
Yeah.
You know, nobody
Yes.
can be mad
This is
about
good.
that.
But I have to be honest. That scares me.
The wiener?
Well, just the idea of me doing this.
Oh.
Like that's
It is
freaky.
scary, but you should do things you're afraid of.
Okay, have you seen the Scary Movie where Tori Spelling's character gets the wax?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
Oh my
Is it a good one? Do they like rip off all her?
Yes. So she rips the thing off and she's looking at it and it's literally on there.
Oh yeah.
Like
I've had guys like when I do their chest and I go like right over the nipple, they kind of like look at me like you put it on the nipple.
Yes.
And I'm like, your nipple's not going to come off, I promise.
Yet. Maybe one day.
I mean, in 15 years, I haven't pulled off a nipple.
But see, here's what now that I know that, what I would do. See, I wouldn't go in there because you would expect it from me because I'm saying this right now. I would have one of my friends go in there and have him put some like fake nipples on.
And let me rip one off.
Yes.
I would love it.
So you just
Please,
like, what in the world?
I'd be like, this is the first.
Yes.
I put on a little case.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be the best.
Yeah, you'd be all over
and
the
then
place.
there's some Halloweenies for you.
Okay, Halloweenies.
Yeah, I love Halloween.
Okay, all right. So these are
Skulls and
candies.
boners.
Skulls and okay.
Boners.
All right, not very nice.
Boner's not a bad word.
No, it's not. Where do you buy this from?
Online.
Oh, okay. You guys
I hand those out for free.
on Halloween.
September, October, yeah.
Okay.
Halloween starts for me in September.
To your clients? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
or little gift bags I give out.
Little kids come to your door. Do you put these
No.
in their basket?
No. But I used to make these candles.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd be drying them, and one of my teenagers came in, and she's like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." And she's like, "But why is it so veiny?" And I'm like, "That's what they look like." And she's like, "They do." And I'm like, "Isn't it gross?" I'm like, "You don't ever want to see one of those."
Yeah.
So I think it's almost like work to my advantage to be very open and like not hide that stuff from them, because then it's like real.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
I didn't really know.
Yeah. Well, it's like when the kids are, when they first see, well, there's an innocence to it. I mean, kids are younger and they see like even a kissing or a makeout scene.
Oh, the little boys that come in the shop with their moms are like, "Mommy, there's boobies over there."
Right.
And the mom's like, "Yeah," and they're like,
why is there boobies over there?
"Because I have like art
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I was like, you got
with boobies."
qualify.
You're all, "Why is the baby looking at boobies?" Yeah, that probably could sound bad.
That's very cool. Oop.
Yeah, so there's your little goodie
Well,
bag.
thank you. That's epic.
Yeah.
And I will show this part to my wife here.
Yeah, and yourself. Don't forget.
And myself, yes. I'm going to come in for the full Brazilian
Chris gets
area.
a full Brazilian.
Does he really?
He loves it.
Oh, does he really?
Oh yeah. It took a while to get him to let me do it.
Yeah.
But once he did, he was like, "I can't go back. This has to be it now."
So I knew a guy that got together with a girl and they started shaving just together in the shower, and he thought that was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And he kept doing it, like whole everywhere, like just.
Then it's all prickly.
Yeah, I know, but I think for him, so he would probably like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just because I think for him it wasn't so much the act of shaving or the growing back part, it was the idea of feeling so smooth everywhere. When he was
Right.
done. So I mean, if he could go in there for this full
Well,
thing,
yeah, and that's the nice thing about waxing. When you shave, I mean, by the next day you have that prickly feeling.
Right.
Where with waxing, you can't get waxed more than maybe once a month. Your hair won't be long enough.
Right.
And it's never prickly because you're not cutting off a hair, you're growing a fresh hair. So even when it comes back, it's soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So the women would appreciate that from the
So
men.
how long does something like that take?
To do a Brazilian?
Yeah.
Like minutes?
That's it.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Women, 7 minutes.
7 minutes. And men, how long for men?
10.
10 minutes. Men are longer.
The scrotum takes a little bit longer.
See, you're making me hurt. That sounds bad.
You just have to do a lot of stretching.
Oh my gosh. All right. I
Create
can't
flat
even,
surfaces.
You're killing me here. I can't even think about it.
Oh, the balls are the least bad part.
Really?
I mean, I don't have balls, but
Yeah.
that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You love it.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Let's get into this politics.
Let's.
So it's a lot of interesting things happening right now in our political system.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. You mentioned Biden earlier. And
Yeah,
feeling
poor
bad for
Biden.
And I'm with you. I think he's just old.
Yeah.
He's senile. He's losing his mind.
He wants to
He's
eat
in his
ice cream
80s.
and he wants to go night-night.
Yes, right.
And I think he should.
Yes, he should. But
I like ice cream too.
But the funny thing and the interesting thing that's happening, something that's never happened before, is the person that's being put in to run in his place
Was not voted in.
was not voted in.
No.
She literally ran one of the worst political campaigns of all time when she tried to run in 2020. Nobody liked her. Mm-hmm. Nobody liked her as a vice president. Mm-mm. But then all of a sudden now she's running against Trump, and
the whole left is saying she's the greatest thing in the world.
It's really weird.
Yeah. And
it makes me feel like we're in the Twilight Zone.
Right?
Like, I am shocked at people just being like, yeah, I think Kamala this and that. And people that, like... I mean, not that they're not cool, even if they like Kamala, but like people I thought were pretty cool, and I'm like, do you even what?
Right.
But I don't think it's that they love Kamala. I think it's that they hate Trump.
Yep.
And that's
exactly
unfortunate because it would be really exciting to have a presidential debate where you were really excited about who was going to win. Like, I mean, I know there's people excited about Trump and there's people excited about Kamala.
Right.
But I don't think it's because of that. I think it's because they don't want the other one.
Right.
You know, like, I felt like the last one I remember where people really got passionate was, like, Obama.
Yeah.
Like, where people were really like, this is our guy, and, like, he's going to do good things, and, like, not because they hated the other guy.
Right.
They just really liked him.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfortunate that we don't have that as an option.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, I think, for most people, even those that are on the Trump side or whatever.
They're like,
side,
which one's less bad?
Yes. It's not like, I mean, for me, like, obviously...
The lesser of two evils.
If it's Trump or Kamala, obviously Trump, for me. But that doesn't mean I'm like, oh, Trump is the best pick there is. Like, there was plenty of people in the primaries that I would have taken over Trump, hands down.
Yes.
Right?
I didn't vote for Trump in the primaries.
Right. Yeah. Who'd you vote for?
Kennedy.
Oh, RFK?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I like him.
How do you feel about him putting his hat in the ring with...
I think it's weird that he's backing Trump.
Okay.
I don't... For some reason, I don't like it. And I don't know why.
Right.
I'm just like, I thought you were better than that,
But
Kennedy.
do you want Trump to win over Kamala or no? Or do you not care either way?
I don't know if the election's going to happen.
Really?
That's how I feel.
What do you think is going to happen instead?
I think they're going to either, like, declare war to postpone the election because you can't
like Civil
have
War?
an election during an active war.
Like Civil War, you mean? Or like on China or something?
No, like overseas,
Korea.
I think. Yeah. Yeah. And or I think if the election does happen, I think a civil war is possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the election happens.
If people are like actually vote, and I think no matter who wins, people are going to be mad.
Well, for sure.
Like not mad, like mad.
Yes. Oh, for sure. It's a very polarizing election. For
yes.
Sure. Yes.
Yes. Even more so than last time when Trump ran, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, even more so than like the Trump Hillary.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When he ran last time, I feel like this is even more.
Right.
People are going to be even more mad if he doesn't win.
On both sides, you think?
I think that if he wins, the Democrats are going to say it was rigged somehow. And if he doesn't win, then the Republicans are going to say it was rigged somehow. So I don't think either side is going to like accept the outcome.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a win here.
So do you think there's validation to that? Like, do you think the 2020 election was stolen? Do you think that Trump should have won?
I think Trump probably did win.
Okay. Do you think they were...
my gut, yeah. Okay.
So if that happened, do you think...
And that's why the Civil War thing is very real in my mind.
Sure. But do you think if they tried to do it again, to steal it for Kamala, let's say...
Oh, they already will.
Okay, but do you think they'll be able to get away with it this time, if they got away with it last time?
Yeah.
You don't think there's going to be, like, way more people looking for it this time?
Yeah, people that are Republican.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they're Democrats. They don't care as long as she wins. Who cares what the Republicans say?
No, but I mean, like, so like at all the voting stations and all the machines, all that stuff, right? They have to have a certain number of people on each side of it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that there's going to be, like, people on the right that are going to be more focused on, you know, especially if they believe that it was stolen 4 years ago and they believe that Biden got in there and he shouldn't have been. I think
it's way above people going and throwing their vote in. I think it happens after that.
Okay.
I don't think we have anything to do with it.
So you think after everybody goes home, then the whatever guys are up there and they're looking at the numbers and like, oh. But isn't there checks and balances too, though, right? I mean, there's...
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think it's just all, everybody just goes home?
I think that there's powers that be that is what's going to happen is going to happen unless we revolt as a people, like as a collective people, and we're not collective right now.
We're not. We're very divided, yeah.
So it's scary. Like, I'm one of those people. Like, I have a huge metal box full of, like, water straws and seeds and
like
gas masks.
Survival?
And, yeah.
Okay. You think that the nuclear apocalypse is on its way?
Not necessarily nuclear. No.
Zombie?
No. Oh. I think it'll be more like people have had enough. And they're not going to do it anymore. And when that happens, things can get nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Even good people can do really nasty things when they feel threatened.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's stressful. It's a stressful time right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-September has been in a lot of talk of, like, I don't know if you want to call them woo-woo people, like psychic kind of.
Oh, gotcha. Woo-woo people. I've never heard of that.
I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
Spiritual people. That mid-September there's gonna something's.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
something's coming.
Like the doomsday people are saying that that's going to happen.
Not doomsday, but like there's going to be some sort of catalyst.
Okay.
That is going to set off a chain of events that is going to change the way that we live.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, if like October comes and that hasn't happened, what would you think? You'd be like, "Oh, those people are full of it."
I don't think anyone really knows when it's going to happen.
Okay.
But I think we all feel it coming to a head.
Yeah.
I think at least everyone I talk to, you know, it's like this, there's been this like building and building and building and the pressure's building. And at some point, the pressure's got to, you know, release.
Yeah.
And you just don't really know when that's going to be.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into more of that in the spiritual discussion, but I mean, there's obviously an end to things, right? And it's just a matter of when, you know, and how. But again, they've been talking about it since I was a kid. Oh, the end's coming. The end. Nostradamus says this. And
no, I don't look at it as like an end time, like the world's gonna end. Mm-hmm. I look at it as just we're gonna have to, something's gonna have to give. Mm-hmm. Like something's gonna have to change dramatically. Yeah. To shift the way that we're thinking and the way that we're living.
Right.
You know.
And what do you think that might be? Like in your own opinion? Like what might that look like?
I think we've got to get back to the basics, man. I think people need to have smaller communities. Okay. I think we need to get back to like self-sustainability, slowing down.
Self-sustainability, like having your own farm, growing vegetables.
Not just for yourself, but like communities. Okay. Like you should be able to get everything you need within your community.
Like local.
Yeah.
Not
shipping and going across countries and you know, like and even on a bigger scale as a country we should be sustainable. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have a situation like COVID where you know stuff shuts down and we can't get things that we need. Right. We should be able to produce those things ourselves. Yeah. And
we're only going out of the country because it's cheaper for us.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
I agree.
That doesn't make sense.
I agree.
It's kind of like it's cheaper now to buy pre-made food than to make your food yourself. Mm-hmm. That's backwards. Mm-hmm. How is that possible that it's cheaper to have something that has had that much work put into it than something that is raw that I'm going to make? Right. How? Yeah. It's insane.
Because it's mass produced.
Yeah, but it's like a business person, I try to like make sense out of it and I'm like, they can't be making a profit. Right. But they are.
Somehow.
How are they doing it?
Okay.
So yeah, I think just scaling down. I think we've gotten too like involved in everything where it's like overwhelming and it's making our souls tired. Mm-hmm. And you don't see a lot of people really enjoying life or having a lot of joy or just presence, like, and that's sad. Yeah. Because one thing that is true for everyone, no matter how healthy, how rich, how whatever you are, you're gonna die. Yeah. And we don't know when, but it's going to happen. Right. Yeah. For sure before 100.
It's like there's that T-shirt that people have that says the results are in, or the statistics are in, or something like that. It's 1 out of 1 people die.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing because we all know that, but we take it so for granted every day. And I think part of that is because we have become so overwhelmed. Like, it's kind of like quality over quantity.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have 400 friends, how deep of a relationship can you really have with each of those people? Or if you had like 4 really good friends, how rich could those relationships be?
Right.
Same with like on a bigger scale, though.
Right.
You know, we need to go back to quality over quantity.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to like Mayberry in like Andy Griffith.
No, I want electricity, but like...
Well, they had electricity.
Oh.
It wasn't Amish.
Well, you know, like...
But it was simple,
I think that we can incorporate technology to be beneficial instead of stressful. You know, make our lives easier instead of making us have more time to work.
Yeah.
You know?
So how would you go about, like, if you were put in charge of that? Right? And like, and let's say like...
Don't do that! That's a bad choice.
But I mean, if you had all the power to fix what you're talking about, like, how would you start?
I would definitely bring a lot of those choices back to the communities instead of the state and the federal government.
Okay.
I think that's a big place we've gone wrong.
Okay.
Is not allowing groups of people to make those decisions for themselves.
Okay. Do you think the federal government should cease to exist, or do you think there's certain things that they should be doing, just not so involved locally?
I think if on a local level could work in a more, you know, streamlined way, I don't think there would be a need for a federal government.
Okay.
If people could manage themselves in these small communities, why would you need an overseer of that?
Right. Right.
I say take down all the warning signs, warning labels, and let things work themselves out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Weed out the stupid people?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
No, but so many people have told me to watch it, and I haven't seen it yet. I know.
You have to watch it.
I know. I got to see it.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me.
It's real.
Yeah.
And really what it is stupid people are outbreeding smart people.
Right.
Because smart people are smart enough to not breed.
Well, they're also dumbing down people. Like,
absolutely.
The kids that are coming out of the schools now aren't learning the right
Dude, my
things.
2 teenagers have like great grades and they don't know how to make macaroni and cheese.
Right.
It's like,
Right. Are they they're public school, right?
Yeah.
So I bet you they know all the social justice stuff, though.
No.
But what I mean is that's what they're teaching more. They're teaching about social justice stuff.
I don't even know what they're teaching them.
Right.
To be totally honest with you. I think it's all wrong. I'm strongly considering homeschooling my little one.
We've homeschooled all our kids.
For that reason. And because I don't want the government telling me what to do with my kids.
Right.
But that is a whole nother set of issues, you know? So,
Well, especially if you're trying to run your own business.
yeah, it's
Chris
a
is
lot.
working full-time,
It's a lot. It's a lot. But running my own business does give me the freedom to create my own schedule.
That's true.
So I can make it work.
Yeah.
It's just...
And would you ever want to get to the point in your business where you had enough people to where you didn't have to work as much?
I tried that.
Okay.
This last year, I tried hiring on a lot more waxers and kind of pulling myself off the schedule. It did not work.
Okay.
I got into a ton of debt.
Oh, bummer.
And in March of this last year, I had to basically start over from ground zero. Because it was either start over from ground zero or close the shop. Like, I couldn't bleed any more out of it.
Yeah.
So I did, and it's going well.
Oh, good.
But I don't plan to have employees again.
Okay. But how many hours a week do you work for yourself?
Every day.
Every day, Monday through Sunday?
But I take clients.
Okay.
If you want to talk about taking clients, I take clients Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Okay.
But I work every day.
The rest of the time, you're just kind of...
Everything.
Just running everything else.
Social media, emails, messages, scheduling, payroll, HR, marketing. Yeah, all.
Okay.
That's all me.
Nice.
Social media is the bane of my existence.
Me too. I mean, even like trying to promote this podcast, it's like... I don't know what
I
I'm
do
doing.
it.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I do it, but I don't want to do it.
Right. Yeah. Do you have people in your corner that do know what they're doing, though?
No.
No.
It's me.
It's just you.
Hi, here's the corner. Hi, here's me. I'm the corner.
Man.
And I have a lot of ideas, and I have but it's just finding the time. And then not only do you have to create the content, then you have to edit the content, then you have to make it look cool. Then you know, it's like, I didn't sign up to do all of that.
Right.
Like, that's a different job.
Yeah.
You know, but now you have to.
Right.
You really have to.
Right.
And I wouldn't if it didn't show that it works. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many new clients come in. I'm like, how'd you hear about us? Oh, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Why would you follow a place you've never been? That's weird.
Yeah.
But okay.
That's
I'll
what they
take
do.
it.
Their friends are following
It's a thing.
it, and
It's
then
a
it
thing.
spreads. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though I don't want to.
So would you consider yourself to be more right-leaning, left-leaning, somewhere in the middle?
I'm registered as a independent.
Okay.
But I don't really think I'm all in the middle of everything. Like, I don't lean... Like, when I was younger, I always thought I was a Democrat.
Okay.
And now, most of my ideas tend to fall more towards the Republican side.
Okay.
But not all of them, you know. So, I'd say I'm, like, in the middle.
Like center-right?
I'm in the mush pot.
Like kind of more leaning to the right? Or like literally dead center?
Center right, probably.
Center right. Okay. Okay. So what kind of issues that, like, do you feel like you fall on the right with? Like what kind of, like, talking points or...
Like, you know, I think people should be able to own guns, stuff like that.
Okay.
But I also think that women should be able to get abortions.
Okay.
You know, so those are like two totally contradicting.
One's a very conservative view, the other one's a very liberal view.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's so hard because there's this quote that I love, and it's, for the sake of the flowers, the weeds are watered. And it reminds me a lot of the government assistance programs. And there are people that really do need it and use it the right way. And there's so many people that don't. But do you take it away from the ones that do?
Right.
You know,
Right.
It's hard. And it's also hard, like, to know that, like, you know, people that... The word illegal immigrant. The first word is illegal. Okay? To me, that means no.
Right.
That means that's bad.
Yes.
Illegals usually means bad.
Right.
So that means bad immigrant.
Yeah.
Don't do that, immigrant.
Right.
I don't have a problem with immigrants.
Right.
I have a problem with people not doing what they're supposed to do
Correct.
to live here.
Right.
But yet they can get driver's licenses. They can get jobs.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Yes.
They can do all these things, get all this assistance.
Right.
But yet we have like a huge homeless problem.
Right.
And like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems backwards.
Well, yeah, and if you think about it, that's the reason why so many people want to keep doing it, because it's like, yeah, it's illegal, but once they get over there, like you said, I can get a job, I can get a driver's license, I can do
How is it illegal?
I can live
It's
like a
not
normal
illegal.
person. Yeah.
It's not illegal.
I mean, there might be some little restrictions here and there, but you can basically
They're probably
live.
good restrictions, like I don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's beneficial, right?
you know?
Yeah, to them. You know, and that's the whole thing, right? I remember when Trump was running the first time, people kept harping on it, and I'll never forget when his Meryl Streep at the, I think it was the Academy Awards, I don't know if you saw this or not.
No.
She did some, you know, Meryl Streep is a good actress, don't get me wrong, but she just says stupid things sometimes. So it was the whole thing when everybody's railing on Trump when he was running because...
The wall?
Yes, and they're saying that he hates immigrants. He's against immigrants.
No, he's against illegal immigrants.
Yes, see, that's because you have a brain and you're able to say that.
Yeah.
There's all these people think, oh, and
I've actually seen the wall.
right. Oh, really? You've been down there?
My grandpa lives in Brownsville, which is
in
right
Texas.
there.
Yeah, right on the border. Yep.
I was like, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
It's not impressive.
Right. Yeah.
And there's huge gaps everywhere.
Of course.
Like, it's kind of like, wait, this is not a wall.
Right.
This is like sort of a here and there barrier. Like, there's a wall. Wait,
Right.
I'll walk over there. There's not a wall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, what?
Right.
It's
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me, and I was very confused when I saw it.
But, I mean, but the point is, though, that he's obviously not anti-immigrant.
No, his wife's an immigrant.
His wife's an immigrant. but so Meryl Streep. So she's at the awards and she's pointing out all these actors and people that are in the audience that are there getting awards or presenting awards or whatever. And she says, oh, and so wonderful actress from some other country, right? And they name the country that they're originally from. And her whole point was, look at all these amazing people we have that are here, and screw Trump because he wants to get rid of all these people. And I'm screaming at the TV. I'm going, they came in here legally.
Right.
Legally.
Right.
It's okay. Yes. We're so glad America is this beautiful place where people from all over the world have come
Melting
and made
pot.
lives.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it. I love that I can
Yes.
go places and get all these different kinds of food
Yes.
and all this stuff and all these cultures and different looks and dress and fashion styles. And all. I love it. that has nothing to do with illegal immigration.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
But these people are so stupid that they just, I don't get it.
Well, and
I do not get it.
the really crazy part is some of these people are people that you know are not stupid.
Yeah.
So you're like, what?
So they're just pretending then?
No, I mean, but no, it means they really believe it. Like they really do.
Which makes them stupid, in my opinion.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's so
very
bad.
weird. I bartended for a long time, so I always was told, you know, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion,
Yeah.
and you don't talk about sports.
Right.
Because someone's...
sports is in there, too. I've never heard that
because
one.
someone's going to get mad, someone's going to get offended, or someone's going to get
Right.
pissed off.
Which is sad.
You know? And
Yes.
and so
That's why this podcast is called Why Can't We Talk About
Right. And so for my business, like if you look at my business page or even my personal page, I don't post political, religious, or sport, whatever sports, but I don't post that stuff because I don't want to turn anyone away.
And that's smart as a business owner.
Where, you know, I see other businesses posting their opinions and I'm like...
It's not smart.
That doesn't have anything to do with your business.
And it's not smart. Because
Like, am I going to go on there and post, like, I have anxiety and take medication? Like, you know, like, we don't need to share that on our business page.
Sure,
like,
sure.
But
like,
they
you
make
look at-
it part of their business.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
you know.
And it's, I understand why some of them do that because they're trying to gain
It does
certain...
work for some of them. For
yes
that,
and no,
for
but
that niche.
I feel like you're going to split your audience down the middle.
You are, but...
No matter which
But you're
way
still
you
getting
go.
half.
Yeah, but you had them all to begin with.
I have
So if
them
you
all.
just keep quiet, that's what I'm saying. If you don't say anything about
I have
that...
so today it was either going to be this hat or I have another hat, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the back of it's blue. The this part is red.
Mm-hmm.
This is white, and so people automatically think it's a Trump hat.
Right.
It's not,
Patriotism.
and it just says
America.
it says politics suck.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
And I love wearing it out
Yeah.
because the Trump haters immediately like kind of like stink eye me, and then they read it and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, politics do suck.
Yeah.
And then the Trumpers are like, oh, she's one of us. And then they're like, no, but I still like you though. So it works really well, you know, to kind of appease everyone.
Right.
So I know what it means for me.
Yeah.
But no one's offended.
Is it a conversation starter ever? Do people ever say anything?
They normally just agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I love your hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's more like a compliment.
Yeah. Or where'd you get that? I need that hat.
And you're like, well, here's my website.
My friend Tommy in Morro Bay makes these hats, off the wall custom creations.
Nice. Well, we got commercials this episode. I like that.
You're welcome.
This is awesome.
I like to help my friends.
Yeah. Get some sponsorship going here or something, you know?
Just for free.
Yeah. So to go back to your analogy of the watering the weeds, which was
For the
cool.
sake of the
For the sake of the
flowers.
flowers. So right before you mentioned that analogy, you mentioned gun control and abortion.
Yeah.
So is what you're saying with that, does that apply to both for you?
No,
Okay.
that is more like government involvement with like helping people.
Oh, like welfare and stuff like that?
Yeah, assistance programs.
Okay.
Abortion is a slippery slope, my friend.
Yeah.
Because where's the cutoff?
Oh, you mean? So, but that's the question.
Yeah.
That is the only question that matters in that debate. When does life begin?
Yes.
And well, depending. If I'm talking to somebody, well, I'll ask you. Do you feel that abortion is ever at any point ending a life, or is there a certain point where it becomes a life, and then after that it's ending a life, or do you feel like it's from sperm to egg? That's a life.
Personally,
Yeah.
it's hard because now that I've had a baby too, I feel different. I have nothing against abortion. I think that if you're a woman and you get pregnant and you do not want to have a baby, you should not have a baby. Mm-hmm. I do not think abortion should be used as birth control.
Right.
And I don't think you should abort a fetus. I think for me, it's after embryo. After it goes from embryo to fetus, so like 12 weeks.
Okay.
So
do you think before 12 weeks, do you think it's a life or no?
I don't know if I would call it a life or not a life, but I think that it would be for me morally okay.
Okay. At that point forward. Or before that point, I mean.
Yeah.
But you feel like, okay, so for you, is that for yourself or is that straight across the board? That's for me.
I don't want to make decisions for other people.
Well, you don't have to, obviously. But I mean, I'm curious, like, what do you think about that?
I think, from my opinion, that after 12 weeks, there's always going to be those outlier situations, that it should not be an option. Okay. I think that you should know within 12 weeks if you're pregnant, and be able to know if you want to go forward with that pregnancy. I do think that men should have a say.
Interesting. I do too, but that's a pretty unpopular opinion.
I don't think they should have the final say.
Okay.
But I think they should have a say.
You think women should have more of a say?
Yeah, it's their body.
Okay.
Like, you don't know what it's like to be pregnant and have a baby come out of your vagina. But
isn't that kind of it's always such a weird thing to me how that becomes the issue.
It is a serious issue, man.
I understand that, but so obviously both the man and the woman have to be present to create the life. Correct. Right? Okay. I do. I'm not denying at all that the woman's job for the 9 months is much harder than the man's when it comes to that. Of course it is, right? No guy ever wants to go through that. Of course not.
No woman wants to go through that.
No woman wants to go through that. Well, wouldn't say that. My wife actually enjoys being
some women like it. So, good for them.
But it's the whole idea that just because it's harder for the woman, that means that...
I don't think it's because it's harder that she should have the final say. I think it's because it's her body.
But it's not.
It is her body. This is my body.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But and I've said this before, and this is something that I always like to make clear, because like when you got the pro-life and the pro-choice and they go back and forth and the women say, oh, my body, my choice, all that. Like most in fact, I've never met a pro-life person ever that has any problem with what a woman does with her body. The problem is the body that's living inside your body. That is a separate body and a separate entity, separate life.
But if that was your viewpoint, then you would have to say no abortion ever. Because
that is my view.
Because that as soon as that egg and that
which is my view,
sperm combine, that's a life then.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's where I stand.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously think it's more barbaric for the people that are doing 8-month, 9-month abortions than
I can't even imagine.
For 12 weeks.
But I also had an aunt who they knew the baby was going to be a stillborn. And she could either go through a pregnancy with an unalive baby and give birth to an unalive baby. Yeah. Or have an abortion, which is that an abortion? The baby's not alive already. Right. I don't know. To me, that isn't an abortion. That's a removal.
Well, even if it is, I mean, I think most of us would view a situation like that and be
or rape. Well, that's different. Stuff rape, like that. That's or
similar but different than the first scenario.
Or like I worked in mental health institutions, and sometimes they'd bone each other, and cuckoo bird would get pregnant. Like she should not be being pregnant or having a baby. She needs to be on meds. Like
right. But then there's always adoption, right? As an option.
But the body that the baby is in is not suitable.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like they're too medicated. And,
gotcha. So those are unique situations. Yeah. Right? I mean, and I think all those are case by case. I might fall on one side of the fence with that kind of stuff. Right. But that's not what most abortions are. Right. I mean, most are. Vast majority.
Well, and I've had so many friends that have had abortions. I've never had an abortion. Yeah. I luckily never had. Never.
One more thing we're similar about.
Never had to make that choice. But I think that the aftermath, you will never realize when you're doing it. Yeah. Right. Not that the girls say that they regret the decision, but it affects them now that they have other children. Right. What if, that kind of like
I can tell you that
unknown.
Of the women I know that have had abortions, I could probably say somewhere in the 90% do regret it. They do actually regret it. I mean, not that, I mean, of course, there's a whole thing like, well, I mean, it is what it is and it happened the way it did. But like they say, do I wish I wouldn't have done that in a sense?
Oh, no, see, I haven't heard that. I've heard no. Mostly because like I wouldn't have been a good mom. Right. I'm so glad I didn't have a child with that person. Sure.
And these are all the common reasons.
Those kind of reasons, yeah. But if someone's, on birth control, they're trying to prevent pregnancy. Right. but pregnancy happens.
Right.
I look at that a lot different than just like, oh, I got pregnant, I'm gonna go get an abortion.
Well, of course.
I don't like that you can do that now. Like when I was younger, like the morning after pill, you could only get it 3 times.
Oh, and they would cut you off.
They wouldn't give it to you anymore.
Really?
So I had a friend.
Yet a woman can get more than 3 abortions. Technically.
I don't know back then how that worked.
Okay. All right.
But I had never gotten it, but she couldn't get it anymore, so I had to go into Planned Parenthood and say that I had unprotected sex. I was still a virgin.
Oh, funny.
To get it for her. Where now you can go get it at CVS every day if you want.
Yeah.
And it's like birth control.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not birth control.
Right. Yeah, well, that's what they think. They're just like, well, I'll just take this pill if I have to. You know, whatever it is.
It's weird.
But like, so...
That's why I don't, when anybody's like, I accidentally had a baby. I'm like,
right.
No, you didn't.
Right.
There's no accidental baby.
Yeah.
Like I, for 36 years, did not get pregnant.
Right.
Obviously I can.
Right.
But I didn't.
Right.
Because I didn't want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to get pregnant, don't get pregnant then.
Right. But see, this is why I also have an issue with the idea of them saying, you know, again, the first thing is like the whole my body, my choice. Not your body, it's his body, whatever. But then the second thing is how they're people that are pro-life, the pro-choice people will say you're trying to take away women's reproductive freedom or reproductive rights. And I'm like, well, no, reproduction happens before the abortion.
Yeah.
No one's forcing you to have sex with anybody.
Right.
That would be us taking away your reproductive rights, saying, no, men can rape women whenever they want, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you have to have the baby.
Yeah, and I would stand up and say, no, let's not do that. That's not a good idea. That is infringing on their reproductive
your right
rights.
to not get pregnant.
Correct. And if you do, I mean, that's the game you play. I mean, I was 19. My wife was 17 when she got pregnant with our first. It was not a happy affair.
Right.
She came out of that bathroom with the test sobbing.
Right.
We were not planning to be parents. We were not ready to be parents. No way. That wasn't our plan.
But you knew you could be.
Knew we could be, and we played the game.
Yeah.
Right? We played the game, and that's what happened. And now our daughter's 25, and I couldn't imagine life without her.
Right, of course.
But at the time, it was like, oh crap. I'm 19. I'm not ready to be a dad. You're 17. You're not ready to be a mom.
Yeah, for me, it's a really hard pull and push between like autonomy and like other people making decisions for people. Mm-hmm. Like, I've always kind of had the mindset of like, if it doesn't affect me and if it doesn't hurt me directly, why do I care?
Yeah. Well, but you don't think that about everything. Because like if you heard a story of like a child rapist, you wouldn't be like, oh, I don't care that little kid's getting raped because it doesn't bother me. Right? That would make you pretty angry, right? Especially if, say, it was happening next door to you. Like, let's say you saw it happening in the bedroom window.
Well, that's different. If I saw it, that's different. I'm talking about, like, if people want pies in their kitchen at night. I don't care.
That literally doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. Or if a 13-year-old girl gets pregnant by her boyfriend and isn't ready to be a mom, and her parents are like, we're not raising your kid. And she's like, I'm scared. And she goes and gets an abortion. That doesn't affect me.
Right.
I don't want to tell people what to do.
Just in that case.
In general.
But see,
I feel that way about the guns, too. Like, I don't want to tell people they can't have guns, and I don't want to tell people that they should.
And I think I believe you on certain things, but I don't think that's straight across the board. Because if somebody was going to murder somebody, you would probably have no problem telling them, hey, don't do that.
If I knew the person, yeah.
Well, sure. Or even if...
But if someone gets murdered in L.A. today, it does not affect me.
It doesn't affect you, but you wouldn't say that you think that they should have been able to do that. Right? Like, you would still be against them doing that, even if it wasn't somebody
I would say that was a bad choice.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, if you were in charge of the law...
But if you want to talk about, like, law and murdering, I think that if you are getting life sentences or death penalties, then you should be killed and not taking up space in the jail.
So are you pro capital punishment?
Yes.
Okay. Me too.
Very.
Yeah. I've gone back and forth over the years on it.
No.
But for weird reasons. Because part of me is like...
I know there's probably people up there that didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, there's that. There is that. That's a small minority.
But again, for the sake of the flowers.
Yeah.
the weeds are watered. So,
Right.
I don't see the point of if someone is you get the death penalty 20 years later they're still alive. What I thought you were supposed to die.
Right.
I don't get that system at all.
Yeah.
I don't get the jail system. I don't get the mental health system. I don't think any of those systems are helpful.
No. Well, they're money makers.
Yeah, but
Generally, I mean
they're also money takers.
Right. Yeah.
It costs like $50,000 a year for one inmate.
Well, it cost us that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the people that are running those places.
Well, yeah.
They're like, oh, let's not kill this guy because if he lives here for another 20 years, hey, there's this much more money.
Or people may get mad at us if we kill him.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But part of me feels like it's a worse punishment. Like, I think about myself. If I was on death row,
Absolutely.
I would rather die.
Absolutely.
Than spend the rest of my life in jail.
If it was like someone that killed my mom, I think I would like to see him suffer for 20 years in prison. But as a whole system, it doesn't make sense to do that.
Right.
You know? Like you're just prolonging the inevitable. Just do it. Like, don't torture him, but...
Right.
And it's weird because we give our animals so much grace with death. But people, we don't.
What do you mean?
You would never stick your cat on a ventilator in a coma for 6 months hoping it might wake up one day. Okay? You would never do that. People would say you were cruel, that was cruel.
Yeah.
But you could do it to people, and it's not cruel.
Well, but the funny twist on that, though, is we're doing that for people because we care more about the people. Isn't that weird?
That's what I'm saying.
That's why.
That's
if it's
weird.
a pet, you're like, yeah, I love my pet, I'm going to miss my pet, but it's not a person.
No, but people say they're doing it because it's selfless to put your pet down.
Right.
Right? Because that's what the pet would want.
You're ending their suffering.
You're ending their suffering. But with humans, let's prolong that as long as we could, okay?
Yeah.
No, like, I think that should also be a choice, end of life. I think that should completely be a choice.
Yeah.
Like, if I have terminal cancer and feel like I'm going to die every day, and it's not going to get better, I don't want to do that.
So, okay, so you, in that case, then you'd have to kind of write that stuff out now.
Yeah.
Right? Because you might, I mean, God forbid, I'm not saying. I hope
you
this
might die
happens
on
to
your way home.
But I mean, you could get into a situation where you are in the state you just mentioned, but nobody knows your thoughts on that. And now you can't talk, you're not conscious, you're in a coma.
Yep.
And now your family has to make those decisions for you.
Yes.
That's hard.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. No, I try to have those conversations for sure with Chris.
Right.
I've tried to have them with my mom, but she's like, not about me, but about her.
Yeah.
And she's kind of around talking about. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
how old is your mom?
64.
Okay. That's pretty young.
Ish.
I mean, it's not young, but it's...
Yeah.
She's probably still got
she's
quite a
had a
few years
rough
old.
go of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But she's still sprightly. Don't get it twisted.
And does she live in Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's actually flying in on Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Very excited.
Nice. Is she going to stay with you guys?
Neck surgery. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, just got cleared for travel after neck surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, this part, the C1 to 4
that's
rods
hardcore,
and
man.
dude, super hardcore. Yeah, I don't hope that doesn't happen to me.
Oochie. That's was it from like a injury or just slept on her neck funny? Or
They
what?
just, I don't know.
Needs a new pillow?
She's just old, worn out, man.
Ugh.
Put out, what is it?
Yeah.
Worn hard, put out wet. I don't know. There's some kind of
Rode hard and put away wet.
Yeah, that.
That's the name of a Diesel Boy album.
That one.
Do you know Diesel Boy?
No, but that's a quote.
Well, it's nice. My dad's 76, and he's always telling me, getting old's not for sissies. That's what he always tells me.
Oh, dude. And we're already starting to feel that,
Right.
you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a comedian I listened to, I forgot which one it was, but he said something about, he's like, there's an age you get to where you get hurt, and it's just that way for the rest of your life now.
Yeah, you're just
that's
injured. Just done now.
There's no healing.
That's how it is with my knees and ankles. Like, they're so messed up that, like, I can't get on the trampoline with the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it would be a disservice to her.
Right. Yeah.
Well, mommy's just going to lay here and you jump.
See, I go to, like, the jump places
I'll
and
be
stuff.
the pancake, you jump.
But it's fun. I enjoy the jumping. It's fun to jump, but the next day, I feel it, like, in my legs, my knees, like, everything's
Something would go awry if I did that.
Right, yeah.
I'm not an athletic individual.
Yeah. I used to be back
I
in
like
the day.
to be outside, but I'm not athletic.
Yeah. So you're like a camper? You like going camping?
I like camping. I like riding my bike. I like kayaking.
Okay.
I like...
That's athletic.
Nah, I'm not
it's not sports.
I'm not like, let's race and like go 1,200
So you like
miles.
to take like leisurely.
Yeah, I just want to like look at the otters.
Okay.
Just like have a good time.
Like what, Morro Bay?
Yeah, I like to smoke weed a lot.
Okay.
So those kind of activities.
Yeah, smoke weed and ride bikes.
And like be in nature, you know, listen to waterfall.
Do you have any?
I have serious. I definitely have hippie tendencies.
Yeah. Do you ever have any? Do you feel any negative effects from smoking a lot of weed? Ever?
Is it expensive?
I mean, well, that's even more so now, right? That it's legal. And
no, now it's way cheaper.
Oh, is it really?
Oh my god, dude! We used to pay like $2.50 at least for an ounce when I was younger, and now it's like 100, if that.
Wow.
That's like high end. No, because it's so readily available that you know.
Right.
I would never buy from my friends now. It's way more expensive than from the dispensary. Yeah, and they bring it to my door on time, and I don't have to hang out with them and smoke half my weed with them like my friends.
Right. Right. I had a guy on here that works at a dispensary.
I used to be a driver for Megan's Organic Market.
I don't remember where he said he worked, but he's the other guy I didn't know until he showed up at my doorstep.
Oh, what's his name? Maybe I know him.
They call him Phil, but his name's Luis.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't know him.
Yeah. He's back in, I forgot what episode number he is, season 2.
He's in another one.
He's in another one.
Yeah. Weed delivery was a fun job.
Okay.
Sketchy sometimes.
I bet.
Especially as a female.
Yes.
But,
yes.
I've never even been in a fight.
Kind of scary. I mean, you got the.
But I've never even been in a fight.
But you look like you could, though.
I will fight you, but it'll get weird.
But see, that's
like
why you've
I'll
never
do
been
weird
in a fight.
stuff to you.
Yeah. Like what?
Like curb stomp you.
Oh yeah.
Or like do weird eye gouging or like bite your face. Like I'll do weird things to you. So it's good that I have never gotten in a fight because I'd be in prison probably. They'd be like, this girl pushed this girl and she just curb stomped her head open.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I always dreamt about doing that.
So you say curb stomp. It always reminds me of that movie with
X.
Yeah, American History
Yeah,
X. Yeah.
that's where I got it from.
Gnarly scene.
That's where I got it from.
Oh,
I've actually imagined doing that to a couple of people,
Really?
which I probably shouldn't admit out loud.
No.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it like got me kind of like,
Yeah. Well, I'll be sure to try to stay on your
But I've never even had the opportunity really.
The opportunity.
Not to curb stomp someone, but just to
I hope it'll come up eventually.
No, like to like get in an altercation.
It's on my
like,
bucket list.
I've never really had anybody like come up to me and like want to like fight me. So I don't even know what I would do. I think I'd be confused. I'd be like, "What? I thought we were cool."
Right. Right.
Can we just smoke a bowl and be cool? I don't like confrontation, which I think when you're loud, people assume that you do.
Right.
I don't. I will like dodge it as much as I can, but if the situation comes, I'm not going to run away.
Right. Right. You got to defend yourself.
Yeah. I broke my left hand, actually. Chris was there behind Elmer's. Alfred, anyway, I can't think of his first name, but he made me real mad because he tried to pull my friend out of a car. My girlfriend.
Why?
Because they had just broke up and we were leaving, and he tried to pull her out of the car, and I just like reacted and just like jumped on his back. And then we rolled down the hill behind Elmer's, and like I was just going crazy, and I was real drunk.
Yeah.
Chris grabs me and grabs my arms behind my back and is like, "Stop! Stop!" I get this one loose, and I just one more on his head, broke this bone in my hand. So that's the only fight I've been in, which really wasn't a fight. It was me attacking him. So yeah, I don't.
Did you feel that then, or did you not know till the next day that you broke your arm?
I knew that it hurt, but when I woke up the next day, I was like, something's really wrong. Yeah. I was like, I can't hold my keychain. Yeah. She got back together with that guy, too.
Oh, no way. After all that?
Pissed.
That's no good.
Yeah, I was pissed. And she had a class with me at Hancock, so every day she had to see my cast. Yeah. And be like, yeah, we're back together.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like a shameful thing.
It was very shameful.
Yeah. Well, bouncing off of protecting yourself, let's go to the gun rights. So you're very pro Second Amendment.
I'm not a gun person.
Okay.
Like, I don't do guns because I'm scared of them.
Sure.
They scare me. Yeah. But I want my husband to have guns. Okay. And know how to use them. Yeah. And just in case. Not be scared of them. Right. Because the bad guys are always going to have guns, whether they're legal or not. Right. So the good guys need to have guns too. Yeah.
Well, so that's why this whole thing, like, I got to pull up this exact quote because I hear that and I think it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and it goes right in line with what you're saying right now because,
the guns in general, and I want to make sure that I can read this exactly.
You don't want to misquote your
I don't
quote?
want to misquote it. But anyway. But yeah, so obviously, because people always will say that guns kill people. The reason why we have so much crime, or the reason why we have so much school shootings, is because of guns. It's because of guns. I'm like, and I always have to bring up the fact, like, you do realize that these people run people over too, right? Like, you take the guns away, they're going to find some way to kill people.
You know,
it's just the way it is, you know?
There's a great song.
Yeah?
By Tom LaJoie.
Never heard of him.
He's a comedian.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Guns Don't Kill People.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect for what we're talking about.
Is it like a country song?
And the riff, it's like a comic song.
Okay.
The riff is, guns don't kill people. I kill people with guns. Pow.
Nice.
Right? So guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns. So it's not the guns that are the problem. It's the people that are doing bad things with guns. But we also need people that are going to stop the bad people to have guns too.
Right.
So I absolutely think that people should have the right to protect themselves.
Yeah. Right. Because that's... It's idiotic to think that if we just outlawed guns tomorrow...
Like the bad guys won't have them?
Yes!
No, then only the bad guys will have them.
And these people think that crime is going to go down after that.
No, it's going to go up because only the bad guys will have the guns.
Correct! Yes.
Yeah. That's like when everybody's trying to like defund the police and all that. I'm like, yeah, you're saying that now till you need them.
Yeah, because that's
when you need the police, you're going to be real sad if they're not there.
Right. Well, and that's the funny thing. A lot of those people that are touting that, especially in Congress, when they walk around where they got security.
Oh, right.
With guns.
Right.
Oh, what do you have that for?
Yeah, you don't need guns.
You know?
So.
And it goes back to the wall. Like people, we don't. What's a wall for? What, do you have a fence around your house? Do you have a lock on your door?
Yeah.
Why? Just leave your door unlocked. Just leave your door wide open every night. Why? Well, because I don't want people in my house that I don't want there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same.
You don't want people illegally coming into your house? Oh.
Yeah, magic.
I see.
Magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, she must have taken it down. Maybe she realized it was stupid.
Why? What was it?
I doubt it.
It
was something about guns. Something basically saying what we're talking about, just in general. Making it sound like if we get rid of all the guns, then
all the problems will be gone.
Yeah. Then it's the crime's going to be gone. All right, so what other kind of things as we kind of finish out the political section? But I mean, it's like, so we touched on abortion, but I mean, what other things, like, so you mentioned one thing you kind of fall on the right on, which is Second Amendment rights.
Yeah. You
fall on the left kind of with the pro-choice idea. Before we leave that though, let's go a little further with that though, just because we kind of veered off somewhere else. We were talking about time frame, and,
right?
And when you personally feel that, I think you said after 12 weeks is
once it goes from embryo to fetus,
right?
Yeah.
But would you go as far to say that you think it should be illegal after 12 weeks to get an abortion?
Are we not including these outlier freak situations?
Not including those.
Then yes.
Special situations.
Yeah, I do.
Rape and incest.
Yeah, I do. I think it's wrong.
Okay.
After that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But people are going to do it even if it's illegal.
Well, yeah, but that can never be an argument.
But unfortunately, it won't be done well.
Right. Well, that's
the downfall. That's the slippery slope.
Yeah, but do you think that if they outlawed abortion straight across the board, do you think there would be more abortions or less abortions than there are now?
There'd be less abortions in America that are reported.
Right, and I would agree with you that there probably will be an increase in back alley abortions, as they call them.
Yeah.
But I
or
still
going
think,
to Mexico or somewhere.
Yeah, but I still think the amount would drop drastically.
Well, yeah, because the access wouldn't be there.
Correct. It wouldn't be as easy. People wouldn't really be able to do it.
That'd just be like if they outlawed fast food. People wouldn't eat as many hamburgers and French fries.
Don't talk crazy talk.
Just saying. You're going to be in the back alley of McDonald's trying to get those French fries.
Yeah. I'm a Wendy's guy.
I like Wendy's too.
It's something about that square patty.
I just think it tastes better. I'm kind of a meat snob.
It's because it's square.
No, it tastes better.
That's why.
It's not the square.
Well, it is.
It's the
If you put ground beef in a square, it tastes better.
Flame.
Yeah.
It's the flame.
I don't know.
Come on.
They got the same flames as
I'm
Wendy's.
a Charlie's girl all the way.
Well, yes. I don't count. That's the best.
Chris doesn't like Charlie's.
What? Dude.
He likes Orchid Burger.
Orca Burger's good too. But, I mean, Charlie's is the best, but
Charlie's all the way.
My gosh. Yeah, I don't usually include that one in like the fast food because that's like a mom and pop place, right? It's like when I talk
so is Orca Burger, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like when I talk pizza, you got the fast food, you got the main chains, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Domino's. Yeah. But then you got like good places like Ricky's and Patricio's.
Yeah, that's where I try really hard to keep my money in small business because I'm a small business. I feel like a hypocrite if I don't.
Well, and that goes back to what you're talking about of staying local, staying small, not having the government so involved. That's what it's going to take is people to say, I'm not going to shop at this place. I'm going to shop at a local.
Oh, dude, when COVID happened, I did protests on the streets all the time saying my salon is 100% cleaner than Walmart.
Nice.
How is this? How are you guys just okay with this?
Yeah, right.
Hello. Like I felt like I was being punked.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
For so long.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, he's coming now.
Yeah. And that would have been cool.
He's not coming. It's not a joke.
Which is a disappointment. Yeah. What are your thoughts on COVID overall?
I am not vaccinated.
Okay.
I will not be vaccinated.
Are you scared of the vaccine in a sense? Do you think?
I think it's once they started paying people to get vaccinated, I felt very worried about that. I was like, huh?
Why? Just because that's never happened in history?
Because yes. Yeah. But also because why are you bribing people to do something?
Yeah.
No one has ever tried to bribe me to get a flu shot. And I've never had a flu shot either. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it was just weird to me. It really made me go, huh?
Yeah.
And after that, it was a hard no for me.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I wasn't really sure how I felt.
Yeah, because we didn't know.
It
was kind of scary in the beginning.
And it was a little scary.
We don't know what's happening.
And so I was like, whatever. Like, but then when they were pushing it just so hard, that's when I was way turned off by it. And I was like, something's not right.
Right.
Never have I seen any medical anything be pushed like that.
Right.
And with so little time that it had been out.
Yeah.
I was like, but they don't know, and I was pregnant. Like I had Lindy in 2020.
Oof.
No, 2021.
Yeah.
So it was the second wave of COVID when I had her.
Yeah.
Omicron or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they were saying pregnant women could get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. They were saying kids could get vaccinated, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a pregnant woman, and I'm telling you, I'm not putting something in my body that has never been put in pregnant people's bodies, and there's no research to show how this affects me or this baby. Like,
yeah.
And people did not like that.
Yeah.
I was grateful that I was self-employed, so I had the option to not get vaccinated because a lot of people I know worked in the medical industry. They were teachers. They were military. Mm-hmm. They had to, or they had to lose their job.
Yeah.
Which, sure, they had the option to lose their job. But that's not always seemingly an option to a lot of people.
Right.
And I get that. And now they're really, really mad.
Yeah.
Because now you don't have to be vaccinated. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my problem with politics comes in the most, is that I think people should be able to make choices for their lives regardless of how I feel about it.
Right.
Or how you feel about it.
For their own lives.
Yes.
But not for the lives of others.
No, for your own life.
Which is why things like murder, obviously, you don't think people should be able to choose to kill somebody.
No, I don't think you should be able to kill your kids and it'd be cool.
Right.
But I think that you should be able to choose what goes in your body.
Of course.
I think that you should be able to choose how your kids are educated. Mm-hmm. I think you should be able to choose how you want to live.
Right. So let me pose a question to you then, based on like how your kids are educated, just because that's kind of people get kind of butthurt about that whole thing. Like I told you, we've homeschooled our kids since they were little.
Yeah, before you were pre-homeschoolers, before homeschooling was cool.
Kinda.
Now there's so many resources.
I mean, not like way before. Because like when I was in high school,
COVID's when it got big.
That's when a lot of people, exactly.
And that's what I mean. There's so many resources
because
now.
people didn't want to force their kids, or be forced to have their kids get vaccinated to go to school.
Yep.
Right. And we had a lot of people
Our
calling
kids
us
are not vaccinated, none of them.
Ours either. But like when you talk about like how you educate your kids, when you watch, this isn't so much anymore, but when I used to watch like shows like Jerry Springer or like some of those talk shows, right?
Talk shows, baby. I love me some talk shows. I used to tell my mom I was sick so I could watch Ricky Lake.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love some talk show.
But like, you used to have things on there where there would be some like white supremacist people, and they would have their little kid on there.
Yep.
And the kid was obviously indoctrinated into
Absolutely.
white supremacy. He's got.
Just
I
like
remember
kids
one
are
specifically. He had like a
indoctrinated
little.
into anything.
He called it his porch monkey.
Oh.
And he had like a string with a stick, and he had a little black guy on the end of it. And he walking around, and of course everybody's horrified by this. What are you teaching these little kids, right? So in like instances like that, do you think those
Not my
parents
kids.
should have the right to raise them
Yes,
that way?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Now, if they were teaching them to go out and hang black people,
Right.
and go out and
Well, couldn't that potentially lead to that, though? If you teach your kids that black people are the enemy and that they're evil and that
yes,
they're,
but at some point, those people have to take responsibility for their own thoughts.
Of course. Of course.
So, my dad told me a lot of things when I was a kid because he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, I'm like, wow, he's a psychopath.
Right.
None of those things are true.
Right.
So,
But not everybody goes that direction.
no, but
Some people
you
grow
could
up and
say that.
oh, my dad was spot on.
You could say that about anything.
You could.
So there's no one size fits all. I think that as a parent, you should be able to raise your kids how you want to raise them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. As long as you're not physically hurting them.
Right.
Or abusing them.
Right.
Then just like, someone that's Catholic may think that raising your kids Mormon is wrong.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If that's your opinion, man.
Right.
Like, to these white supremacists, it is not wrong. That's
Right.
what they really in their hearts believe.
But it could be
and
mental
I'm not
abuse.
going to tell them they're wrong.
Right.
Who am I?
But it could be a form of mental abuse, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I think that if you look at it like that, then we're all mental abusing our children because we're all indoctrinating them into our lifestyle.
Right. But you would say there's...
Kids think tattoos are okay because I have tattoos.
Yeah.
My kids think seeing vaginas and everywhere is fine because I make that very normal to them.
Right.
Some people would think that's really wrong.
Right.
Like, you should not be making candles in front of your teenage girls. Right. But these are my kids. Don't tell me what to do.
Right.
So I'm not going to tell you what to do either.
Mm-hmm. And there's no line there?
Unless they're
other
being
than
abused.
Physical abuse.
Yeah, if they're being abused. Just like with animals. Like, if you never walk your dog and you feed it dollar store food, like, I can't come in and be like, you should be walking your dog every day and you should feed it only raw meat and you're a bad dog parent, so you don't get to have a dog.
Yeah.
No. That's not how it works.
But if you watched me walking my dog and I was kicking it every corner.
Not if you were kicking it. If
then
you
you'd be
were
like
punching it in the face.
Okay.
And it was like crying and like cowering, then I'd be like, okay.
So kicking's okay.
Like, we're gonna fight.
But not punching.
I don't know. Like, I have a pit bull, dude, and I swear I could like punch him in his butt and it doesn't faze him.
Yeah. Well, those are like tanks. Those dogs.
He's a tank.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, it's where do you draw that line?
Right. And that's really the question.
To me, it's if something, in my opinion, if something is looking to me as help me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you.
Right.
Regardless.
Okay.
Even if it's the little white supremacist kid that's like, please help me, my parents are psycho. I'm gonna be like, okay, I help you, baby.
Okay.
But
so,
I'm not gonna go in and say, you're a bad parent, I'm taking your kid.
Right. Unless the kid himself is crying out for help.
Yeah, it's obvious that they don't want to be there and they're scared.
Okay.
I think everybody deserves love and safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And however that looks to you might be different.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't support white supremacy, though.
Well, I would hope not.
I am not a white supremacist supporter. I just want to make that very clear.
Yes, I would hope not.
Do not raise your children in white supremacist household.
Yep.
Preferably.
Spirituality. Where are you at? What do you think? Atheist,
Are you
agnostic?
talking religion?
I don't like the term religion only because, but we can use it.
I don't identify with a religion.
Right. So you might consider yourself spiritual. Or not. So that's why I use spirituality. Because it can include religion.
I do believe in energy.
Okay.
I think energy is real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it comes from or who made it or who whatevered.
Well, describe the energy to me. What do you mean by energy?
Well, like, I'm a Reiki practitioner, so...
Reiki? Like...
energy work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So describe that for me then.
So some people will say, like, oh, that person has bad energy, or like, that person had really good energy.
Right. Is that like vibes?
Kind of, yeah, but according to the Reiki that I was taught, there's no good or bad energy. There's just energy in balance and energy that's not in balance, right? So that means potentially, meow, that we can self-heal.
Okay.
By balancing our energy with what we call the universal energy.
Okay. So like harnessing your chi?
I don't really know what chi is, but it's not harnessing anything. It's kind of tapping into it.
Okay.
So I don't practice Reiki anymore, like on people, but I believe in it.
Okay.
I think it works.
Can you spell that?
Reiki.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have a friend in town that's a Reiki master and a shaman as well.
Okay.
And like last week I had a crazy bout of anxiety, like debilitating to where I couldn't like leave the house.
Yeah, I've had that myself.
And I reached out to her and had a session with her, and every day's gotten a little bit better.
So what does that session look like? It's like meditation? Is
No,
it like...
so you lay on a table and there's, for her, she calls on her guides, her spirit guides, and doing the energy balancing, like balancing my energy, but also bringing in helpers to help her do that. And she also has some medium, so sometimes other spirits will come in during a session.
Okay.
A lot of visualization. You kind of talk about what you saw after.
And do you believe that, I mean, it sounds like she believes that, but do you believe that those beings, are they actually like like spirits? Are they beings? Or are they
yeah, it's like energy.
Are they like conscious, like...
Not like ghosts.
No, but I mean, are they like entities that are conscious,
Yes.
that are
Yes.
actual
Yes.
beings?
Yes.
Not just like some like
Yeah,
energy out in the
think
middle
of
nowhere.
them as almost like alien-y.
Okay.
That's where my spirituality kind of goes.
Okay.
I think aliens are real.
Okay.
I think that we are probably hybrids of some sort.
Oh, really? So you think we're like aliens came down and, you know, procreated with something and then created us?
Or they created us and said, like, let's see what happens with this species if we let them just kind of go.
Yeah.
I think they've come back and intervened at certain times in history, and I'm hoping they do again soon.
Okay.
Because I think we need that.
Yeah. Okay. So
to me, the beings are more of a alien energy, not a
Okay.
human ghost.
okay. So like
not,
alien,
not like a person. You know?
But when you say alien, you mean like from another planet?
Yeah, or another dimension, however you want to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get real.
Yeah. I hope so.
You want to get real weird?
I do. So you believe in intelligent design then, at least?
Yeah.
So like, even if it's aliens that created
I think
us.
there's something to it.
Right. So
I
you
don't think it's this person up in the clouds that created everything.
But you also don't think it's like nothing.
I don't think it's nothing.
You don't think it's like
I
just
don't
spontaneously
No, I don't.
life arose
I
out
don't
of
think.
nothing?
I don't.
Okay.
I can't believe that.
Right.
Because that would be really hard to
Illogical.
live with.
Well, it'd be illogical.
It would make you just be like, well,
Right. So
nothing matters.
So do you think then that because you were created by something, whether it's aliens in your view or energy, that makes us that we should care about certain things? Like we should have...
I think the closest thing I've resonated with is the idea that there's a soul,
Okay.
which is the energy. Really is like a more tangible word for it.
Sure.
Would be like a soul.
Right.
And your soul can go to different dimensions. It can go to different beings. It can experience all kinds of different things. And Earth is one of those places you can choose to experience a human experience.
Right. But do you think though? So you're how did you say you're 40? So you've been in your human body for 40 years. Your soul's been living in your human body on Earth.
Correct.
But you think that before that you could have
Yes.
been doing other things.
Yeah.
But you don't remember any of that.
No, but I have a feeling.
Okay.
That's the only way I can really explain it. Is like it's like a knowing. Like there's got to be more to this.
Right.
But none of us have figured it out. I don't think.
Okay. Well, but it's different to have like a feeling of knowing there's something more
than to say, well, I have a feeling that I had previous lives where I was...
Yeah, I do. And I feel that way about other people, too. Just like those innate fears that some people have. They have no reason for it or just affinity for something that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Deja vu, you know, when
one.
you meet people and you're like, I feel like I've known you forever.
Right.
I think that that's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't
what- think
it's serendipitous. I think it's real.
So what do you see it... Is there a purpose behind something like that, you think?
I think it's just, I mean, I don't know, but I would assume it would be learning lessons of some sort, or just experiences. You know, like, kind of like if you think about VR, like, dude, you could go into virtual reality and be a supermodel and have a Ferrari and it would feel real and you really feel like you're there. I mean, who wouldn't be like, yeah, I want to do that?
Right.
So, you know, maybe in my past life I was an alien on blah, blah, blah planet and someone told me how cool being a human was. And they're like, it sucks though, but it's like really cool though too. And it's like really special because you feel like you only have so much time, you know?
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Kind of like being a mom. Like, I want to experience that.
Sure.
I want to know what that's like.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where my brain goes.
But in order to learn stuff from that, like, wouldn't you have to remember it?
I think you do once you're not in the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, once your soul leaves your human body, you'd be out in the ether again before you choose where we're going to go to next. And when you're up there, you remember all the experiences from all the different places you've been.
Collectively, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
I think so.
Okay.
And I think there's like a collective consciousness.
Okay.
Like the movie Avatar, I really connected with, like with the tree and like the nature and just the connection to everything. I think everything is very connected.
Okay.
As much as we don't want to believe it is, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The part of that movie, I always say this, but the part of the movie that got me the most was where he's like almost dying or whatever, and he says I.C.U. And he's like, obviously he wants her to take him to the hospital, and she doesn't. I mean, he's asking for the I.C.U. and she just says it back to him and just stares at him. Like, he's like, I.C.U. and she's like, I.C.U. and he's like, no, I need to go to the I.C.U. Like,
Oh, she thinks he's saying, I see you.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that's a thing because that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's not the acronym I.C.U.
Yeah.
It's I see.
She's saying I see you.
I see you, and that's what he's saying as well. Yeah, because throughout the movie, that's a theme.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like a soul connection.
Yeah.
Like I see you, like your soul, not this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think your soul sees another person's soul, or do you think your eyes see another person's soul?
No, I think it's your soul or energy, whatever you want to call it.
So you might not know about that until later.
I don't think it all connects when you're in the current reality. No,
Okay.
I don't think our brains are big enough to grasp that. Like when I think about space, and I just like get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then I go, it's just a screen in the sky.
Right. Well, it's like on Contact. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Jodie Foster. It shows a part where she's a little kid and she asks her dad, Dad, do you really think there's life out there? And he says, I'm not sure, honey, but if there's not, it sure is an awful waste of space.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so much out there.
Yes.
You know, for them.
If that indeed is true. I don't know if I believe in space either.
Really? So what's out there then?
It's not out there.
The Matrix?
It's not. There's no out there.
So when people take a telescope and they're looking up into the sky and they're seeing stars and
that's just
stuff.
what they want you to see.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty heavy conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I'm deep.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think that.
Okay.
Like inside, I think that. I don't talk to people about it really because they were like, "Rah."
Well, now you're talking to lots of people about
That's fine. I don't care. They have no choice now.
You gotta listen.
That's their fault.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be a pretty big thing to pull over on people. Right?
Yeah, that's why I don't really talk to most people about it.
Okay.
Because they like get too like...
But do you think that's like the aliens that are pulling that over on us, or do you think it's like our own government?
I don't think the government has anything.
Yeah, because I don't think they would be able to pull something like that off.
No.
Yeah, that'd be too heavy.
No.
But if it's aliens, maybe.
Yeah, aliens,
Possible.
totally.
So the conspiracy theorist part here is from aliens that are making it look like there's stars and planets out there.
It's not that they're making it look like, it's kind of like I said, like if you, the closest comparison would be like a VR situation. Like you go into a virtual reality world and it's set up how it's supposed to be set up, and that's what it looks like.
But then you take the goggles off and you're back to reality.
Yeah, but we're in this right now.
Our body is the goggles. And the only way out of that...
This whole thing is the goggles.
Okay. But the only way out of that, you're saying, is like our soul would need to leave our body, and then we can see the truth.
Well, once this experience is over, then the energy leaves and goes elsewhere. Yeah. Okay. But it's still you, just not this.
Gotcha.
You know, like when people like say like the good die young, and you know, like the wicked people live the longest.
Right.
Like that makes sense. You know, like they still apparently haven't done what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, so that gets back to purpose.
Or maybe
again,
they weren't needed somewhere else. You know, maybe those younger souls were came and they were like, nah, not for me.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna do a different one. Game over. You know, like.
But who's calling those shots?
Probably our higher self, I would say. Yeah.
Our higher self.
Like the soul that's.
Okay.
You know.
That's out there. So do you think as you sit here now, you have a soul that's also out there at the same time? Or do you think it's only in your body right now? Once it leaves, it'll be out there?
I think it's both.
At the same time?
At the same time.
So like kind of quantum reality kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
He's all wow.
So, no. I mean, not that way. But I mean, for me, I always go to, like, we can talk about that kind of thing. But, like, is your, for lack of a better word, evidence of that kind of a theory?
There's no evidence.
Simply just your feelings.
Yes.
It's just the way you feel.
Yeah, and I think that's the same for any spiritual feeling. Where's any evidence for any of it? There's none.
Okay.
There's none.
You think there's no evidence at all for any kind of spiritual anything?
Not evidence. There's evidence that they had ideas and things that they thought, but there's not evidence of it.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'd all have the answer already.
Do you think there's evidence of anything? Like, leave spirituality out of it? Like, do you think anything can be proven at all in this life? Like,
well, if you want to think that this life is real, yes.
But you don't think you can prove that this life is real?
No.
Okay. No way to prove that?
No.
Okay.
No.
But, like, let's assume then that this life is real. And then, is there things within this life that you think you can prove that is true? Like, is there such thing as truth at all?
I mean, I could prove that if I cut my arm open, it would hurt and I would need help. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So obviously there's certain things that you could say, yes, this is a factual
But does that
thing.
mean that if I did die, that I'm dead and that's it and it's done and I'm over?
Well, no, you would say the only way to know that is when you do it.
Yeah.
Right? And no one that we know of has come back from the afterlife and said, hey,
here's
what happens. When, well, there are people that have claimed that. Of course. But they have differing things, so it's like, which one's right?
Well, and people go, was it the drugs? Is it just what happens as the body shuts down? You know, is it just firing neurons firing? You know, there's no physical evidence for any of it.
Yeah, because let's say someone who's very religious and they have a near-death experience, and they say, oh, I saw a white light and I saw Jesus and he was welcoming me in, and then he told me it's not time yet. You need to go back to Earth for a while. And, you know, you could make the argument the reason they're seeing that is because they're religious. That's what they believe. That's what's already in their head. And therefore, when they're having this experience, or someone who maybe is an atheist, and they say, oh, when I had a near-death experience, it was just all darkness. There was nothing. It was just a big nothingness because we're just going to die and that's it. Lights out, right? And, of course, that always plays a factor. And that's why I think like things like that aren't really trustworthy. You know?
No, they're not.
People write whole books about these after-death or,
We are not subjective creatures. Our experiences, everything shapes how we think and feel. So, I think that would absolutely affect what you would see at your end time. Right. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. I've never luckily had that experience, but... Yeah.
So how would you explain somebody who and this has happened both ways, of course, but if there's like a lifelong atheist... somebody who writes books about how there is no God and God sucks and all this kind of stuff. Say like a Christopher Hitchens kind of character or something, and he has a near-death experience, and he says, you know, there was a white light, and I saw God, and he talked to me, and he said
maybe that was his experience.
You know, but like, That'd be interesting, though, right? Because that'd kind of be the opposite of the other one.
Right, but that doesn't mean he didn't have that experience, but it doesn't mean it's true.
No, it doesn't. No, I'm with you completely. I can never base anything on something like that.
Yeah.
Because even like people say, oh, I had a dream of this, or I had a vision of this. How do you know where that came from? How do you know if that was real? How do you know if that's not just some weird, firing off of the brain or whatever?
And it's the same with Reiki. I can't prove that it's real.
Right.
But
you think it works. But you see the results.
But that could just be because I think that it works.
Placebo.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's good enough for me.
Right. Right. Well,
if it works, it works. I don't care how it works.
Right. It works in a human sense, but like if a lot of different religions talk about more like eternity, and that's kind of where that falls in.
Yeah, I don't think that I can't get on board with Christianity because I cannot. It doesn't, and I'm a very sensical person. Like I have to make sense of things, so it doesn't make sense to me that someone or something would create something and then allow those things to just suffer and die and that's it. Like it just doesn't the why doesn't fit for me.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So back to what kind of what you were saying about it not making sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like it never resonated. Even as a kid, like I had to go to catechism, get baptized in the Catholic Church, and I remember thinking, if God loves me, why would He let me go to hell and suffer? Like you wouldn't do that to your own children. Yeah. So then it turned me off to the religion because I thought that can't be right.
So it's the idea of hell that turns you off.
Just the idea of punishment and being good enough, or there being these things, like I'm a believer of be a good person. Don't intentionally try to hurt people. Don't intentionally try to do harm to other people. Right. That's my religion.
But if someone chooses to do harm to other people, do you think there should be punishment for those people? Do you think
that's a big umbrella?
Well, back to the capital punishment. Do you think a child rapist should be executed? Do you think a serial killer should be executed?
Well, I had a client once in a mental institution. He was 17, not when I was working with him, but this is why he went into the mental institution. He was 17 and his girlfriend was 15. And they had sex. And her parents reported him for statutory rape.
Because she was underage.
Because she was 15. And
wasn't he 17?
He was 17, or maybe he was 18.
Okay,
I don't know, but they were like, it wasn't like he was 35 and she was 12.
And it was probably consensual.
Very consensual. And I don't know if he got arrested or whatever. He got in trouble for it, had to register as a sex offender, like all these things, and had a mental break.
Yeah.
And wait, where was I going with that?
We were talking about capital punishment.
Oh, yeah. In that case, no. I don't think he should be punished. I don't think he should have been punished.
But that's more about the severity of the crime.
Yeah.
If you go back to...
Yeah, so again, capital... I don't think someone...
A child rapist. Like someone who's been convicted of raping multiple children.
Yeah, I think they should... You
think there should be a punishment?
I don't think there's a fix for that.
But there's a punishment. You think there should be...
Yeah, I think they should not be around other people or children.
Okay. Right. So I'm only saying that because the point is, like, you're not anti-punishment. But you're just saying that as far as like God goes, let me word it this way. Do you think, leave hell out of it for the moment.
Yeah.
Do you think that God, if there's a God, I'm going to speak in hypotheticals.
Yeah.
If hypothetically there is a God and He created us and He has a certain morality in a way that we're supposed to live, we're supposed to be good to people, we're supposed to treat them well, we're not supposed to kill them, we're not supposed to rape them, we're not supposed to, let's say, and someone does those things, do you think God should punish that person, or do you think God should not?
No, I don't think...
But the state should. The government should.
Well, when you die, are you a threat to anyone?
When you're dead?
Yeah.
I would say no.
So then what's the punishment for?
You mean like... Oh, you mean after death punishment?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about on Earth.
Oh, well, God doesn't punish people on Earth, I don't think.
Okay. It's just eternal.
Like, I'm talking like when you die. Like, you can't come to heaven.
Okay.
Like,
right.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's right.
So, okay.
I believe everyone is inherently good.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
I think people are taught bad and or bad is done to them. And I don't think that people are born bad.
Sure. Well, you look at pretty much any serial killer, you read up on their life story, most of the time.
Horrific trauma.
Right. Most of the time. Not always.
Most of the time.
You look at somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer, came from a wonderful family. Everything else, you know.
He probably did some drugs or something.
Well, then there's mental, as you know, you worked in a mental institute. There's just mental disorders that screw with our heads. And sometimes it's drug-induced, sometimes it's not.
Right.
Some people just get mental issues. It's just part of, it's a disease they have. It's just no difference than getting cancer or something, No?
I don't know.
Yes, no, maybe. So this is kind of, there's so many different places to go here. So do you believe at all in any kind of afterlife? Or, I mean, other than, I know you must, because you talk about going back into the energy.
Yes.
And that.
Yes.
You don't believe in, like, places like heaven or hell or
No.
anything like that? Okay.
I think it more of as like an astral plane kind of a deal,
Okay.
not like a place.
Okay.
Not like you go here and then you just hang out and do fun stuff.
Okay.
Like, I don't...
So is there anything...
I wouldn't even want that.
You wouldn't want a heaven or hell, or you wouldn't want an astral plane?
I wouldn't want to go to heaven.
Okay.
Ooh, that sounded bad.
Why?
I don't know. It
Because
sounds bad.
it's interesting because most people would say they do want to go.
I know, that's why it sounds bad.
But, no, it sounds honest. And
very honest.
Here's why. Because people think that heaven is like, when they view heaven, they see it as this wonderful place where everything's what I want. And it's all great. And it's just, everything I can think of that's the best ever is going to be in heaven.
What does that look like? Nobody knows what that
Well,
looks like.
it would be different for everybody, right?
Well, and not just that, but, you get a hot tub, and the first 3 weeks, you're in that 20 times a day, because it's so awesome. 2 years in, you don't ever use it.
Right.
Like, that would get boring.
Yeah.
Just doing fun, no problems, just in the clouds.
So you prefer the problems is what you're saying,
I want
right?
both.
That's interesting.
I want both.
That's
I think you have to
perspective.
have bad to appreciate good.
Yeah.
And I think you have to have stress to appreciate peace. I think that, I had tons of childhood trauma, and I think it made me a stronger, smarter person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I need my little one somehow. I'm like, how do I traumatize her, but like not feel guilty? And then I think it'll just happen.
Yeah. but okay, that's a good point, because what you're saying is there might be a certain situation where, because of the love for your child, you think that she might need to go through something traumatic, because on the other side of that, she's going to be a better person. Right? So there's a viewpoint that people would take with God in that way. They would say that if, again, speaking in hypotheticals, if there's a heaven, if there's a hell, if God's real, if all this is true,
Right.
then there might be certain bad things that need to happen in order for that person to come to that understanding of that truth.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it.
So it would be something we might look at it and say, just like your child, when she's going through whatever she's going through, she's not saying, oh, this is great, I'm so glad I'm going through this. No, in the moment, it's like,
No,
this
it's horrible.
sucks,
Yeah,
this is terrible.
it's horrible.
But it might not be till years later where she can look back and go, oh, I'm glad I went through that.
Yes, absolutely.
You see what
That's,
I'm saying?
with all kids, like,
Right.
They say, like, biologically, from the age of 14 to 25, biologically, people from that age gap are wired to hate their parents because it forces you out of the home, right?
Interesting.
If you think back evolutionarily, right? You want to get them go start your own life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are the most fertile years, 14 to 25. Then you're stupid. You don't understand anything. I hate you.
Right.
Then they turn 25 and all of a sudden they're like, I get it now.
Yeah.
You were trying to do the best you could and you helped me so much.
Well, and that's most of us, right? We look back on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I think that just happens. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be similar with God.
And you develop this empathy for your parents of, oh God, I'm that age now. I can't imagine dealing with a small child.
Or you have your own
doing
kids.
this. Yeah.
Like Bill Cosby says, is the curse of the parents. So I hope when you have kids, they act exactly the same way that you act.
Yes. My mom tells me all the time, well, you did that too. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah. Right. But there's a wisdom there, right? Because the hope is that you can ask your mom, say, well, how did you deal with that when I was that way? And hopefully she can say, oh, here's what I did, and this worked, or this didn't work, or don't do this because...
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's really sad part about how we look at our elderly is they're looked at as almost an inconvenience to society when really they should be the highest praised.
Yeah.
They know the most.
Right.
They have the most experience. They've done the most.
Yeah.
We should be listening to them.
Yeah.
Not being like, ugh.
Right.
Old people.
Well, but I think for most of us, I know that for me, I regret when I look at like my teenage years and maybe my grandparents were still around. And I was like, they were like, oh, come sit and talk. Nah. I got something to do. I got something going on.
That's normal, though.
I know, but then you look back later on and you go, man, I would love to sit down with them right now.
Yes, but you could tell your 15-year-old that right now.
And they won't.
Still won't do it.
Yes.
So you're like...
I know. And you're right. You're right. And then they'll regret it later.
Yes.
And their kids do the same thing. And then it's just like this cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's... you talked about good or bad energy. You talked about good and wicked. You've been using kind of those terms a little bit back and forth. So what do you mean by that? What's good? What's bad?
I don't think there's good or bad energy. I think there's energy that's balanced and energy that's not balanced. Okay. So when you're sick, when you're not feeling good, when you're when you feel tired, when you feel whatever, it's because something in your body is energetically out of whack.
Okay. That's more on like a personal, your own psyche kind of level. Yeah. But like, what about things you do? Are there good and bad things you could do?
Actions? Energetically?
Just in general. I mean, even just in the human. I mean, not even necessarily spiritually, just in general. Do you see a good and bad in actions, to use, your word?
I mean, well, yeah, you could say like people that, beat up animals are bad. And people that
would you say they're bad, or would you say they're doing a bad thing? Because you said people are inherently good.
I think people are inherently good. It doesn't mean all people are good still. But I think we're born good.
You think people can become bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. But I don't always think it's their fault.
Okay.
So I have empathy a little bit there too.
Do you think it's ever their fault? Or do you think we're all kind of a product of our world and our upbringing and people in our lives? Circumstance.
It's hard because, like I said, I had a very traumatic childhood, so it's hard for me to like do the like I had a hard childhood, so that's why I am like this. I'm like, no, don't use that as an excuse. So I don't think it should be an excuse for bad behavior. But I think some people are stronger minded than others, and some are resilient, and some people can overcome. Yeah. And some people they can't. Yeah. They don't have it.
Yeah. Well, why is it some kids can go through the most abusive upbringing and turn into the most wonderful people ever, and then the other side you have kids that are come through terrible upbringing and turn into the most terrible people ever, and they're the same way their parents were, and they're abusive to their kids or whatever. Or you can have somebody who grows up in a wonderful upbringing and turn into a terrible person, right? So it's that whole nature nurture thing, and I think there's both in there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you bring it back to like energy and stuff, I think there's older energy souls and newer energy souls, so maybe the older ones can fight that a little easier than the newer ones. Don't know how to navigate that. Yeah. That's the only like explanation I could think of to explain why one would and one wouldn't. Right. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, that goes into the inherent that you're talking about. Like, I know you said everybody's inherently good. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I understand what you're saying, like the innocence of you're born innocent kind of a thing until you. I mean, how would you word that? Then
I think bad is learned. I don't think I don't think that's a nature thing. Okay. I don't think it's in our nature to want to hurt other people.
Right. So if they did a study where they put they had babies and they
let's say they raised 4 babies, like free of seeing any violence, witnessing, and only their handlers, for lack of a better word. I know it's a terrible word to use, but for that, like the experiment people, they're just the most friendly, loving, very never yelling, never being mean in any way.
No, you have to have both.
Yeah, but
Nothing's
I'm
perfect.
just saying, if they did that, and then at
Then
6 months old, the one baby, 6-month-old, saw the other baby had something that they wanted, and they went over and they punched him in the eye and they took it. How would you explain something? Because it's not really learned, right? They didn't see somebody punch somebody and take the thing that they wanted. They just decided, hey, I want that. And if I punch him, I can take it.
I definitely think there's nature.
Yeah.
But I think nurture is when you think of evil.
Okay.
Like, say, a baby has, I don't know, a toy, and another baby has a toy, and this baby wants that toy, and goes over and takes it from that baby. That baby's not thinking, like, oh, I'm going to go take this from that baby, and I hope she cries later about it, and I hope this really hurts her feelings. That baby's not going that far into it.
You don't think it's a mental, it's more like instinctual.
Yeah, it's just like, I want that. Right. Like, they don't, they haven't, they don't have that empathy piece yet for other people.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really what adults are doing. They're just thinking about it more.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the initial feeling is, that guy has something I want. Right? Regardless of what that is. And then since he's got more cognitive abilities, he might think out a plan to get what he wants. Right? But to a baby, it's still the same, like, inner desire.
They just don't have the tools to navigate it as nicely.
Right. Right. But I guess my point is, that's still kind of inherent. Them wanting what someone else has.
Survival, absolutely.
Right. Well, more than survival, just like wanting something that they, not even something for, it's one thing to say, oh, the baby's starving, and he sees someone else has food, so he goes and punches him, takes the piece of bread. That's survival. But like saying, oh, I like that toy you're playing with. That's not survival. You're not going to die without that toy.
No. That's just, I think, natural competition.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you don't see that as evil.
No, I don't see that as evil at all.
Okay.
I don't think competition is evil.
But what about, like, if it's two adults, and let's say, to use a weird example, let's say that they're, somebody sees your husband, another girl sees your husband and says, I want that guy. Yeah, sure, he's married to her, but I like him. I want him. And then she goes over and she decides she's going to steal him away from you or
Take
something.
If he wants to go, baby, let him go.
Well, let's say he doesn't.
Then we're fighting.
Right. Right. But would you say that was an evil action on her part?
No.
No. Okay, so what to you would be an evil action?
Torturing.
Okay.
Seeing something suffer and getting delight out of that.
Okay. What if you were
She's
suffering...
not taking my husband to hurt me. She's taking my husband because she wants my husband.
Okay.
It's not personal.
But what if it did hurt you?
That's not why she's doing it.
Okay, so it's her motive behind doing it.
Yes,
if
intention.
Her motive was to
I think
hurt you.
intention is huge.
Okay. So let's change the scenario then. Let's say it's a old friend of yours that...
Oh, we're fighting.
Yeah, or maybe like you upset her years ago.
Curb stomp.
And she's like, I'm...
Full circle, okay? We're bringing it back.
And that was her motive, right? And she's like, no, I just want to hurt Sabrina.
Oh, yeah, that's evil.
I don't even like Chris. I don't care about him at all.
That's evil. That's evil.
Because your motives...
That's wrong
to
me, yeah.
So anytime your motives are to hurt another person in any way... Cause pain, whether physical or emotional, mental, doesn't matter, is evil.
If it's intentional, If I accidentally hurt your feelings, I don't think I'm being evil.
No.
If I am intentionally saying something that I know is going to hurt you on a deep level, that's wrong, man.
Right.
I don't need to do that.
But if it's involuntary and you're not trying to hurt someone's feelings, but you do hurt someone's feelings,
then that's on.
Do you think you should? Oh, you do? You don't think you should apologize?
If I said something like, if I said to you like, I think your glasses are lame.
Yeah.
And you're like, it really hurt my feelings when you said that. I don't know, stupid example, but I would own that and I'd say, I did not mean to hurt your feelings at all. Right. I'm so sorry that I hurt your feelings. I just wanted you to have cooler glasses.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not going to take back what I said.
Right.
Because I meant it.
Okay.
And it wasn't to be mean.
Yeah.
I tell Chris all the time, I have to remind him, I'm on your team.
Yeah. Right.
I'm on your team.
Even though it sounds like I'm not sometimes.
Even though it seems like I'm not, I am.
Yeah.
Because my intentions are always good.
Okay.
I never go into things.
Always? Really?
Always.
Wow.
I never try to hurt people.
Okay.
I don't like hurting people. I don't like making people feel bad, even if they deserve it.
Right.
I don't like it.
So even in your marriage, there's never a point like where you get angry and in the moment,
No.
you feel like I want to make him upset?
No.
Wow.
No, it would hurt me.
Yeah.
To hurt him.
Well, I mean, it would me too, like after the fact maybe.
No,
but in the
moment it would.
Okay.
I mean, I'll punch you in the face before I'll say something hurtful.
Okay. Because that wouldn't hurt.
It won't hurt as long.
Sticks and stones may break my bones.
Words
Kinda
are the
deal.
worst.
Yeah, I agree.
Those don't go away.
Yeah.
When you say something that cuts deep,
Right.
that doesn't go away. They can try to forget about it and they were just mad, but it stays.
Right. Right.
And I don't ever want him to feel like that.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I don't want anyone to feel like that.
Sure.
I want people to feel good and happy and not that you can always feel good and happy, but I want more of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure.
know?
Sure. All right. One final thing before we go here. Hope I'm not keeping you too long.
I don't know what time it is.
It's 4:45.
I just told Chris, I'll be home later.
Yeah. Well, I'll have you out of here by 5.
Okay.
Probably. So,
Maybe.
yeah, we'll see. But the last thing would be, so you obviously think that you said it's evil to intentionally want to harm other people.
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Okay, so it's wrong.
Yeah.
But then this is going to sound like a weird question.
That's okay. I like weird.
Why?
Because it's not natural to get joy out of other people's suffering.
But why? What do you mean it's not natural? Like,
if you took 100 people and had them watch a video of a dog being beat,
yeah,
99% of those people would feel sick.
You're right. Now my question is, why is that? Where does that come from?
I don't know where it comes from, but I think it has a lot to do with us thinking about it happening to us.
So it comes back to the self in a
Or
sense?
someone we love.
Like we have empathy.
Empathy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it would be different, like if you saw...
Like, I never used to have any kind of feelings about, like, seeing shows with, like, babies in stress or, like, little kids stressed out. Now that I have a 3-year-old, I don't like seeing that.
Right.
It makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Because it's more personal to you now.
I think of my baby, and I'm like...
Right.
Like, I can't even... Like, I will go to prison tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, no questions asked.
Right. Right.
So... Yeah.
But that would be different. Like, so you're right. It's like seeing the video of the dog getting beat would obviously, most people would be disgusted by that.
Just like if people saw videos of how their meat is found.
Yeah. That's why I don't watch those movies.
That's why I don't watch those movies either.
Because I want to keep going to Wendy's.
Right. But if you had to be there watching it happen,
right,
I bet you wouldn't want to eat those burgers anymore.
Maybe.
I eat meat. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to get you out of eating meat.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well, I was a vegetarian for 15 years.
It's perspective.
So. Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
We get it prepackaged in the store. There's a complete disconnect that it came from a living thing that suffered and died.
Right.
We don't have to connect that.
Yeah.
When we drive by fields, I always tell the 2 older ones, I go, look at all those hamburgers. And they're cows. Sabrina, don't say that. I go, that's what you're eating.
Yeah.
Don't say that. I said, you need to understand.
Yeah. If you have a problem with it, don't eat meat.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but it's the people that like to stay ignorant. That's the part I don't understand.
You
people
just said
I just
that.
don't want to know.
You just said I would never go see that because then I wouldn't want to go to Wendy's.
Well, yes, I did. You're right. But it's somewhat of a joke because I was a vegetarian for 15 years.
Yeah.
And it was for moral reasons. It was because I didn't think it was right to kill animals to eat them. I have a whole different view now. My wife is still a vegetarian. She's been a vegetarian.
Yeah, I was vegan, but it wasn't...
I couldn't do vegan.
It wasn't for, like, moral rights. It was more like I felt like a hypocrite.
Right.
I was like, I could never go out and kill one of these animals and eat it, even if I was starving.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Right.
So why do I have the right to just go disconnect this completely and forget that what it even is and eat it? Like, it felt wrong.
Yeah. So what brought you back?
So, like I said, I used to work for a brewery.
Yeah.
And we used to do this thing in Sacramento called the Burger Battle.
Okay.
Every year. And it was the Burger Battle. And I was smelling a lot of cooking meat. and bacon in particularly
good,
was very hard for me to smell.
Yeah.
It was almost sexual.
Okay.
Like, not literally, but like, I felt like my pupils would dilate. Like, you know, like a prey, like you see your prey animal and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Like, and I couldn't control it. And I remember telling my husband at the time, I said, what if I just took like one bite of one? And I just like, and I couldn't even like spit it out.
Yeah.
Dude, the first bite, I was like, oh!
Yeah.
And it was over. And I, for like 2 weeks after that, because I hadn't eaten meat in so long, I just
screwed your stomach
ate
up.
a bunch of beef.
Yeah.
And bacon and you know, cheese,
right.
all the things.
Right.
And I felt like crap, but I was like, I love it. I can't not have it. I need to have it. But I ever since then, my husband now, Chris, calls me a meat snob because I'm really picky about meat.
Oh, okay.
Like certain ways, if it looks weird or the texture's weird, I'm like, meh.
Yeah. Texture I get. I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah, or just like like, you know, you get salads with like the chopped up chicken. I'm like,
okay.
It just like looks weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like that. I want the whole chicken. I don't want pieces of 20 different chickens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm kind of a meat snob,
okay.
but I definitely eat meat, and don't get it twisted. I have a Big Mac now and then.
Nice. Yeah. Or Wendy's. It's better.
Yeah, it's just
Get
not
a
as
Baconator.
close.
Close to you?
Yeah, we live in Market.
Oh, well, you got Jack in the Box right there.
Yeah.
No, you'd like McDonald's more than Jack in the Box?
I like Jack in the Box better, but my kids like McDonald's better.
See.
Yeah. Happy
See,
Meals.
that makes me feel like I failed.
It's
when that
those
happened. My kids
Happy
like
Meals.
Domino's better than like regular real pizza. I'm like, I failed.
Yeah.
I did something wrong. CPS.
Eventually.
You know? Yeah.
Eventually they'll get it.
They will once they mature.
Yeah.
And they understand. You know?
Yeah.
So to animals though, do you think that animal life is equal to human life, or do you think one's more important than the other?
I don't know if I want to say one's more important than the other, but I think both are real. I think animals have souls
Okay.
and energy.
Do you think they're the same? They go up into the ether and they go to different planets?
I don't think they're animals, but
Oh, you think people can sometimes be inside
absolutely.
animals? Okay.
You can do whatever you want, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would be a bird. So I'd fly around.
I don't know what I'd want to be.
Yeah.
I've thought about that, and I'm like, I don't know, because there's like pluses and minuses to all of them. Because I'm like, I'd want to be like a whale in the ocean, and then I'm like, oh, but then barnacles will be all on me, and fish will be biting on me all the time, and like it's cold, and like stressful.
But would you have to wait to die to come out of that and go into something else?
Yeah.
Okay, you couldn't just like jump around.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because then you'd be like, oh, being a fish, I don't like it anymore.
No, but then that fish would die though, and then you'd have to.
You just go find a shark and get eaten.
You're all. I'm done with fishing. Yeah.
They did a thing one time where they painted a scenario of a swimming pool, and your dog is in drowning. And also in the pool drowning is your neighbor, like who you don't know, right? You never met him. You wave to him sometimes when he comes out to get the mail, and you can only save one of those two. Either your dog who you know and love and your pet, or this basically stranger.
How old's the stranger?
He's 35.
How old's the dog?
Dog's 7.
I think in my mind I would think I could save both of them. But I'd grab my dog first.
No, that's not part of the scenario.
But I'm just saying, I would grab my dog first. So my first instinct would be my dog.
To grab your dog.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I'd also want to help them too.
But
like I'd probably die because I'd try to help both.
Okay.
And
so
then we'd all
sacrifice
die.
your life for
all of us would die.
And then you go into different animals or something, and you
then next game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good way to go, I think.
Yeah.
I think the worst way to go would be drowning, though.
I'm with you. But I can't swim.
I think at that point I'd just try to gulp the water and like make it happen faster.
Just breathe in quick.
I'm all just let's do this.
Boy, that's giving me anxiety just thinking about
I know
that.
it is stressful. Sorry.
That's crazy. So now what if the scenario is it's your dog and your child?
A child.
Right. See, that's a given, right?
Yes.
But it's funny because it used to be, and this was the point of the experiment. It used to be that it was a given
to get the person.
To get a person. Didn't matter if you knew him or not.
Right.
You could know nothing about him. He could be a serial killer for all you know.
Yeah.
But your first instinct is, okay, there's a guy that's drowning and there's a dog that's drowning.
Now, if there was a child in my dog,
Okay.
I'd probably grab the child first.
Even if it was a child you didn't know?
Yes.
Okay. And that's why you asked the ages.
Because I feel like, to me, if something is incapable of helping itself, I'm more inclined to help.
Okay.
Like a baby couldn't get itself out of a pool.
Right.
Where potentially an adult could.
Right.
Same with a dog or a cat or
Sure.
something. Like,
Sure.
You're 35, figure it out. I gotta get this dog.
Right. Well, that kind of goes back to what you were saying about when you're talking about if kids ask for help.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to insert yourself into someone else's life, but if the kid is asking for help, you'd be like, then you would feel...
Oh, I would insert myself right then.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if I see something happening, even if they're not asking me for help, but I'm like,
Yeah.
then I'm inserting myself. Absolutely. With anything. Even if I saw like a guy being mean to his girlfriend and she looked scared, and I'd be like, hey, are we cool here?
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
you want to fight me? I don't know how, but let's go.
I've never been in a fight, but I'm about
I've
to.
always had that drive to stick up for the underdog, to protect, to shield those that can't shield themselves.
Right.
It's just in me.
Yeah.
I don't like confrontation, but I will absolutely confront for those reasons.
Yeah. Well, sure. We all do that. We put ourselves in situations.
Just like when I hit that guy and broke my hand, like I didn't think it out. Like
Right.
I'm gonna jump on this guy and then I'm gonna punch him in the head.
You
No,
saw him.
I saw something happen
Yes.
and I reacted.
Right.
And my reaction was to stop that.
Yeah. Because he was hurting your friend.
Yes.
So, nice. And then she thanked you by getting back together with him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But we won't talk about that.
Thanks, Racine. It's okay.
Name dropping.
Name drop.
Name drops.
Everybody knows. It's
Remember,
okay.
You gotta tell
Everybody
me.
knows about that.
You got to tell me any names you want out, because
No, all the names can stay.
All the names are staying.
Sorry, guys,
All
you're
right.
in there.
All right. Well, I forgot where I was going with the morality question now, but I feel like we didn't quite get past the.
Oh,
But that's what it was. I'm basically getting at, like, where does morality come from? Like, why do you think we all have that inherent feeling of that's wrong? I'm watching this dog get beaten on TV. 95% of people say, "Oh, I feel sick." Where does that come from?
I think it goes back to us being inherently good.
Okay.
I think we're not geared for suffering
Right.
and hurting
Okay.
and pain. It's not.
But geared implies somebody's gearing it. So does that go back to the alien?
Yeah, like we're not wired to, and I don't think that's a human experience. I
Okay.
think that's an entity experience or an energy experience. I don't think our higher selves can grasp that kind of nastiness.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you use the words like wiring and that kind of thing, who's doing the wiring?
I think it's whoever's creating these worlds,
Okay.
like there has to be some parameters.
Okay.
If you're going to go and have this experience,
Right.
it has to be this experience.
But that implies purpose. So whoever the aliens or whoever it is that created us with the purpose of certain things, and they
I think
They
it's.
don't want
I
us
don't
to-
know that there's like a grand purpose. I think it's more experiences. Like
Right.
I want to have this experience.
Well, that
this
could be the
human
purpose.
experience.
Right.
Maybe you want to have a I don't know, Martian experience. If that's a place
Yeah.
that's real. I don't know.
Sure. But like, why would the creators, whatever they are, want that? Like, what would be their purpose behind saying, let's create some beings and give them some experiences?
No, they're not creating beings to give them experiences. This isn't real.
What?
Like,
You lost me.
okay.
What do you mean it's not real? You don't believe it's real? Like, you think... I mean, I know it's just your theory, but...
Yeah, no. So it's an experience,
Okay.
like VR.
Right, but we went back to the beginning of that, and I thought we had agreed something had to have been behind the curtain.
Yeah, so the entities, the energies, right, can create these different experiences.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, they're probably bored. They want to go
Yeah.
do fun stuff.
So we're like an
Check
experiment.
out different things. We're not an experiment. We're just an experience.
Okay.
You know, like, hey, you want to... I went and beat a human for a while. It was pretty cool, man. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I want to try out Earth. I heard about Earth. It's been around for a few hundred years.
I was just on Saturn, but
there could be totally different words for things, because those are our human experience words, is like Saturn and the moon, and
right.
It could be something like like Contact, where she shows up on that crazy beach with like that light being and 12
cool.
moons. You know what I mean? Cool. Who knows?
Yeah. But there would have to be do you think there would have to be a purpose to any of that, or no?
I mean, I want to believe that there would be, but I don't see why there would be.
Well, because people in general, I mean, I know we're not talking about people, we're talking about intelligent beings. There's always a reason behind everything.
Well,
we do, right?
Humans, I believe that, yeah.
But you think like higher beings might not have any purpose at all. They're just like, I'm just going to do that just because.
Yeah, or just... And then it gets into the question of, okay, well then if there's these beings that have created all these different dimensions to go hang out in, who created them? And then who created them? And then who's the final creator? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm only human. All I know, in my heart of hearts, is that none of this is just for nothing. I really don't believe that.
Right.
I don't think that we just die and black and you're gone.
Right.
I don't believe that.
So you do think there's a purpose. You just don't necessarily know what it is.
There's something to it.
Right.
I just don't know what it is, and I'm not going to pretend to know what it is. And I do believe that animals have souls. I absolutely believe that. My dog that passed away that I was talking about that was 16, that's her little paw right there. She was my person for 16 years.
So you think she was an actual human?
No, but soul? I mean, she had a soul. Not that she was literally a human, but you know what I mean? Like, we understood each other without communication. There was a connection that I've never had with another animal, and I've had hundreds of animals.
Right.
I love animals.
Yeah.
It was different, Maybe she had been a human before. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're just oopsies and they're just here to
I definitely
feed us or...
No. Just cows are.
Whatever. Think about global warming, man. You got to think about all the cow farts and methane.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Warming up the atmosphere and stuff.
It is. But that steak sure is good, isn't it?
Filet mignon.
Is that what you go for?
It's the only beef that I like.
Okay.
Other than like hamburger.
Okay.
I can do ground hamburger fine.
What about like tacos with ground beef?
Yeah, ground beef's fine.
Okay.
But like steak.
You're not a steak person.
Filet only.
There's filet. I don't get ribeye. Everybody talks about ribeye as the greatest thing. Too fatty.
It's all fat.
Yeah.
I don't get it either.
I'm good with a New York though.
I don't like those. I don't know. There's something about a filet that it just like melts.
It is. It's
like
very
you don't
tender.
barely have to chew it.
Well, it's a great. That's why it costs twice as much as all the other cuts.
Yeah, but if you only eat beef here and there,
it's a special treat.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right, that's it.
All right.
You made it.
Cool.
Unless you got anything else.
I don't know. Do you have anything else?
I don't got anything
Did you
else.
have fun?
I did have fun.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm glad. We are going to be doing a monster market October 26th at my shop in the courtyard. If you like weird stuff or your kids or your wife like weird stuff, we're going to have a bunch of local makers.
And what's the date?
October 26th.
Okay.
So it's the Saturday before Halloween.
Okay.
And it's going to be like different. Like I have a girl that does ceramics, a girl that sells plants, a guy that does bonsai, a girl that makes art out of bones.
Nice.
Like all different things, and they're going to be set up in the courtyard, and I'm not charging them.
Oh, fun.
They can just come try to make some money.
Okay.
And it'll be fun.
Well, cool. Well, this episode will be out in like a week and a half, so that'll give people to listen to.
Oh, yeah, but also you guys, too.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I got
you too, man. Go.
Yeah.
We're not that far away. We're right there by CVS on Clark.
CVS on Clark. Oh, by Little Caesars over there?
Yeah. So there's a middle building right behind 76.
Yeah.
I'm in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I
right
didn't
next
know
to
that.
State Farm.
So you got that guy out there. I keep meaning to go talk to him because I think he's got cojones. The guy out there in the MAGA little booth. You seen that guy?
I have to go be mean to people all the time for that guy. There was this like old man yelling at him the other day, and a client came in and she's like, I don't know what's going out there, but there's this like old man yelling at that guy at the booth and da-da-da. And I was like, what? And again, my don't be mean to that little man.
Yeah. Mighty Mouse
kicked in.
Yeah.
And I go out there, I walk up to the booth, and I look at the old man. I said, is there a problem? And he just goes, And he looks at the kid and he goes, well, I gotta go. And he walks off. And I said, are they being mean to you?
Yeah.
And he's like, He's like, some people are, some people aren't. And I said,
yeah.
Don't let them be mean to you.
Yeah.
I said, if I see anybody being mean to you, I'm going to come out here and tell them go away.
Right.
And I've even had to tell, like, my staff, because some of my staff are, like, very liberal.
Right.
And they're like, that MAGA guy outside.
Yeah, see.
And I'm like, hey, he's working his job. He doesn't make those flags.
Right.
He might not even agree with that. It's his job. Don't be mean to him.
Right.
Okay? Like, don't do that.
But it takes a special kind of stones to put up a booth like that in California.
When I asked him, I went and talked to him. I said, where are you from? Yeah. He said, Northern California. I said, really? I said, that's shocking. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, I know. It's what everybody says. I said, who do you work for? Some company. I said, so you just go around wherever, and they just send us places, and we set up these booths. And I said, that's cool, man. Cool. I hope you sell a lot of flags today. Yeah. I don't buy one. Right. I don't care. But you support his right to sit there. Yes. And believe whatever he wants and to share what he believes with others. Absolutely. And why can't people fathom that? And if you don't like it, don't buy his flags. If I see somebody with a Kamala Harris booth, I don't go up to him and say, you idiot. No, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Yeah, I mean, it's just not right. No. So just believe whatever you want. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about it. I'm all for talking about it. No, we can totally talk about it. And maybe somebody can convince me otherwise, and I'll change. I'm all for that. Yeah. But this idea of, I'm going to hate that guy if he believes something different. I'm going to yell at him and throw things at him and all. It's like, just stop it. Yeah. Stop it. Just the way people get this conviction that they have about it. It's like, what are you so mad about exactly? Right. Like, just calm down. Just calm down. It's going to be okay. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like humanity, it's coming to this head. Yeah. And it's people are feeling this pressure and going, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't right. And at some point, that bubble is going to have to burst. Right. And I just really hope we come out on the better side of it. Yeah. I hope so too. Me too. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. I had a lot of fun. Good. Awesomeness. So, just curious how... Thanks again for checking out this podcast. And please tell all of your friends about it. Don't let those shadow-banning savages win the battle. Also, I would love to hear your feedback. You can contact me at whycan'twetalkaboutThat at proton.me. Make sure that you subscribe so that you'll be notified whenever new episodes are released. Thanks.